Nah. Yeah. But, for now, Part 2-1, Trial. Why is Discord... Oh gosh, hold on. Please hold. Device, cable B. Okay, there we go. Discord audio was not being picked up.
Gotcha.
Unacceptable.
Yeah.
It's
Wouldn't be voiceover Mondays without literally
The
everybody
voices.
else.
Yeah.
All right.
Adrian did it?
That's what it looks like.
Dude, no way. That woman couldn't do, like, anything like that.
In court today, there will be a mountain of evidence that will implicate you.
A mountain of evidence?
I'm certain there is someone out there trying very hard to pin this whole thing on you.
Please, Mr. Lawyer. Dude, like I said yesterday, I'm refreshing like a spring breeze,
I don't know
alright?
how that's gonna help you in a court of law, but,
I can't let any sort of scandal ruin that.
I understand. That's
Well,
my
it's
arm.
almost time.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yes. Village, it's almost time.
Oh, what? No,
Well,
it's
it's
not.
almost
That
time.
was the wrong voice.
Uh,
wasn't me either.
Mia.
We must get a complete acquittal today.
I know. But I can't focus on Maya's situation right now. Or Pearl's either. No matter what, I have to focus on winning this case by the end of the day.
Indeed. Well, let's get going.
You couldn't, like,
I am trapped inside my own psyche.
You can't like give us a warning before this happens. Beep, beep, beep.
Help.
Oh,
No.
It's him. It's G Killer. This is right.
Who was the killer last time?
I think it was also
I started, but Enters took over. Do you want me to take over again?
Yeah. You
Yeah, and then I think we wound up to be Connor, so Tim, you can do it, yeah.
Okay. Good morning. This is Mr. Attorney. The day of the trial.
Maya. She's unharmed, right?
Well, when I checked on her earlier this morning, she seemed a bit, how shall we say, tired. Don't worry, people don't die that easily. Besides, what you really should be concentrating on is winning today's trial. For my sake as well as yours, you must win today's trial. Which is why I sent you a little present this morning.
Present. What in the world would you want to give to me?
We'll figure it out once the trial starts. And even if you don't like my gift, I expect you to graciously accept it and win the day's contest, if you please.
Wait. Beep.
Beep.
The kidnapper sent me a present?
The bomb.
Happy birthday.
Mr. Lawyer, dude, who was that?
No one. It has nothing to do with you, so forget you heard anything.
Dude, did your nose just get a bit longer?
Fuck you too.
Pinocchio. Father, when can I go see the world on my own?
March 22nd, 10 a.m., District Court.
Rabble.
What did he kidnap Van Karma too?
Mark, do you want to be the judge?
Court is now in session for the trial of Matt Ngardu. Are the prosecution and defense ready?
The defense is ready, Your Honor.
Dot. I say, Mr. Wright, what happened to Miss Van Karma?
I don't know, Your Honor. Why are you getting mad at me?
Your Honor.
Please be quiet, bailiff. Court is in session. If you must tell me something, please keep it brief. Now then, whisper it softly in my ear, gently.
Shut
Is
up!
it?
If you have to tell me something, keep it brief. Tell me what you're talking about.
Now tell me all the things you're talking about.
That was
I need to know now. You
that
need
was
to tell
such
me
a
quickly
flag.
so we don't waste any more time. So tell me. Please tell me. Will you tell me?
Stop wasting time. Now tell me
Yeah.
Rub
what's
my
going
shoulders while you
I was
whisper it
very
into my
knowing.
ear.
Prosecutor Von Karma has been This morning, Miss Vakara was shot by an unknown gunman.
What the fuck?
Holy heck.
Holy shit!
What? How outrageous!
Shot?
Rabble, rabble,
Happy
rabble.
birthday!
Paintball gun.
Somehow,
Oh, Mia.
I
God.
think this is the present that man was talking about.
His present.
Miss Von Karma is one of the top prosecutors in the country at the moment. If she were to disappear, it would be to your advantage.
This is totally insane. Miss Von Karma, is she alright?
9, I am bleeding on the floor. I don't have that answer. I've been here the whole time.
Edgeworth?
He's alive and in stable condition.
That's good. Whew, mystery voice. You were
Music change.
I thought he
Is this Edgeworth team?
the cornbread guy, I remember.
I will testify. Your Honor, due to the circumstances, Miss Francisca von Karma cannot appear in court today. She unfortunately caught a bad case of the ouchies. I, Miles Edgeworth, will be taking her place.
She got a terrible case of the gunshot.
Alright, now here's a question. This is less of a present and more of a slap in the face, because out of the two of them, Edgeworth is the more competent lawyer.
Gunpowder
Edgeworth.
blues. The prosecution is ready. Naturally.
I don't know. Like, Edgeworth was on a
Rabble,
solid
rabble,
losing streak
rabble.
against Phoenix when they first met.
Yes, but
It's Von
Edgeworth
Karma right
was,
now.
was undefeated as the
Oh, of course it was the
prosecutor.
fucking shoulder.
Miss Von Karma was shot in her right shoulder. Ironic.
So
And is
symbolic.
currently undergoing surgery.
Beautiful.
Luckily, I have looked this case over and am familiar with the details.
Oh,
The
how
prosecution seeks to prove the guilt of Mr. Matt Engard.
The court acknowledges the prosecution.
Right. I finally found the answer I was struggling for on my long journey this past year. I didn't have the right amount of yeast. By the time this
Don't put
case comes
yeast in
to an end,
cornbread, you doofus.
you too will know the answer.
It's bread.
You can't substitute bananas for eggs?
Now then, the prosecution would like to call its first witness. Please bring Detective Gumshoe to the witness stand.
It's me!
Ooh,
Gumshoe.
I choose you,
Nothing but
Gumshoe!
Don't refer to yourself in third person, witness, your name and occupation.
My name's Gumshoe, sir. I'm a
Full-
detective down
full
at the
name.
precinct.
Full name.
Detective Richard Gumshoe.
For now.
That was
Oh, right.
After this trial's over, I'm supposed to turn in my badge, sir.
Oh no, not Gumshoe.
why?
Detective Gumshoe. I can't help but feel that this is entirely my fault.
The prosecution
Probably
has no need for a depressed witness.
Wow. Stop
You will
being
leave your-
sad.
You will leave your depression at the door. Lift your head up and face forward like a proud officer, Detective Richard Gumshoe.
Yes, sir!
Now let's have your testimony.
Can I get a raise?
No.
No, decline.
I have 2 coupons to ShopRite in my pocket. Do you want that?
That'll do!
Here, if you want to explore the various facets of this case, we must start with that.
Ooh, this one's half price off chicken wings.
Get ready, Phoenix. This is going to be one very rough fight.
Yeah. It's like a final boss or something. It would have to be with Edgeworth as my opponent.
Gift.
The answer he was struggling for. Interesting. Show me this answer you finally found, Edgeworth.
Come on, whip it out.
I don't think you're supposed to do that in court.
Nope, not at all.
Fair fact of the case.
This murder happened after the Hero of Heroes award ceremony, sir. This guy, Juan Corrida, was found dead in his hotel room. After looking into the cause of death, we believe he was definitely murdered, sir. He was murdered by that bottle of apple juice.
No,
But it was tomato
juice.
juice.
Oh, that's a tomato? Never mind. At first,
Just the facts,
they're
don't
both fruits. At first, we thought there was something suspicious about the empty guitar case. However, we later found out that guitar case had nothing to do with the murder.
Damn it.
Unbelievable.
And that was it.
Interesting.
Not even
After the award ceremony ended, the victim was alone in his room. Question mark.
Yes, sir. Both the victim and defendant went alone into the room, sir.
I see. Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Okay, alright, okay.
Rabba.
Hold your rabble. Would you please give us a brief timeline of what happened after the ceremony?
Okay, pal. The ceremony started at 6 p.m. It ended around 8 p.m. And then there was a short break. A special post-ceremony show was supposed to start in the lobby 30 minutes later.
And that's when the victim's body was found, correct?
Which is to say, the murder occurred during that 30-minute break period.
Please continue with your testimony, former detective.
You don't have to rub it in.
The person who discovered the victim's body was Adrian Andrews, correct?
Yeah.
Who is this Adrian Andrews you were talking about?
She's the defendant. Man on Guard's manager. She's a really pretty lady. Soy.
So she's a pretty so she's a pretty lady. I wonder if she will grace us with her presence.
Judge, keep it in your pants.
He was hitting on what's her face, Airhead last case.
Yeah.
Oh, Mini.
Oh, yeah,
No,
Regina.
the lion tamer.
Regina.
Oh, yeah, Regina.
Not
Regina.
just airhead, child. Get it right.
Child.
Yeah.
I couldn't come up with
Not-
any words besides Airhead.
Not just any child, a delusional child.
Child.
When the post-ceremony show was about to start, she went to get Mr. Ungard. After visiting his room, she next went to the victim's room to get him for the show, son.
I see, and that's when she found the victim's body.
Alright, hold it. Stop. Wait. Hold.
Stop. Cease.
Stop.
Stop over there.
Drop it. Drop it. The cause of death. Wasn't that because Mr. Corrado was stabbed in the chest?
Only a careless amateur would believe something so brainless as that, pal.
Fucking
Sounds like-
excuse me?
Well said, Gumshoe. Well, just like we rehearsed.
Yeah, you pea-brain chimp. Take a good hard look at this crime photo.
Or
Saying he was stabbed and then brained?
Now, a real pro's attention will be drawn here to this bandana.
Banana. Monkey.
Lord.
Oh, my.
His
Vader,
bandana.
protect the monkey.
Sorry. That's the thing wrapped around tightly around his neck. Sorry.
Saying he was choked?
Yes, I see. His banana-scented bandana.
Oh my lord.
Why must I read these
God,
words?
just because the first
with
case
my
had bananas
face?
doesn't mean this case needs to.
Then what about the knife?
It seems to have been stuck in the victim's chest on purpose after his death.
We have a crafty murderer here on our hands.
Time
don't know
of
why
death,
this is
8:15
any-
p.m. Strangled
any
with
more-
a scarf, then stabbed
what
with a
exactly is
knife.
crafty
That's
about?
like the least believable murder.
That is the least crafty I've ever seen.
Me reading
Also,
these lines
compared
is
to like
physically painful.
really the last case was very like crafty.
Yeah. Hold
Yeah.
up. And
Despite the pain.
why did you think that?
Because it was empty, pal. The damn ninja doesn't go anywhere without his bright red guitar. And we couldn't find it anywhere at the crime scene. Scene of the crime.
Oh, then how about this theory? Judge, goddammit, why? A fan really wanted the guitar and did the crime to get it. How's that?
Look, I don't think you're allowed to give conjecture.
This is
not
my
allowed to
room.
do any of this.
This is my courtroom. Bailiffs smack my and then their nuts in that order.
I can't believe nothing has changed since I've left.
we thought of that too. But the only fingerprints on the guitar case was the victims.
Only the victims, huh?
I see. So much for my theory then.
Judge, you need to...
You're judge.
Oh, you're so fucking smart, you big fucking...
The defense attorney is supposed to be the one wildly conjecturing about the crime.
Guys, please, he's horny. All the blood goes from the rest of his body to his pee-pee.
What convinced you it had nothing to do with the case?
The guitar wasn't at the Gatewater Hotel that night.
Well then, where was it? Is
The
it?
bright red guitar was eventually found at the TV studio. The victim, Juan Corrida, had apparently only taken the case with him, sir.
How is that possible?
Yeah, so there's something that he was hiding in the case, I imagine.
So you mean he forgot to put the guitar inside the case?
Yes, sir. Even when he was on stage for the ceremony, he didn't have his guitar.
That's why he lost. So that guitar case was empty even before he got to the hotel.
Yeah, that's right. So it really had nothing to do with the case after all.
The case had nothing to do with the case. Got it.
I see.
Well, I believe that is enough.
Oh boy.
We've clearly established that there is a significant case that this case is not involved in this case. Sorry.
Alright.
Wait,
How
I
many
pulled
times can we say case?
I pulled my sister there for a second. First, the victim was choked to death with his bandana.
The damn banda.
That damn bandana. And then after the victim was dead, the killer deliberately stabbed him with a knife. Which brings me to my next point. Why then did the police arrest Matt Hungard? Because there was reason enough to suspect him. That's what police do.
Looks like Edgewood's back in full swing.
Very well. Former Detective Gumshoe, please testify about this matter.
Yes, sir.
Allow me to go on my bullshit again.
Why arrest on guard?
Matt Hungard and Juan Corrida were huge rivals with each other.
Is it a Gordita Crunchwrap?
Juan Gordita Crunch. I tried to stop doing that. They each thought the other guy was in his way. That's motive enough in my book. It's a very small book. As for evidence, there's the Jammin' Ninja's button. It's a button. It was ripped off the ninja costume and was found in Mr. Hungard's hakama, which is basically underwear. The defendant's fingerprints were also all over the knife. The defendant brought that knife for the crime, which makes this a premeditated murder.
Okay.
So the defendant's fingerprints were found on the knife used in the stabbing. Who would have thunk?
It was sort of sticky on the handle, so the fingerprints came out pretty clearly, sir.
Looks like they've been used for food.
Gatewater is engraved. Wow.
Okay.
Wow.
And there's this button. Can I keep it?
No.
That was found in the defendant's clothes, was it? And is this button also covered in blood? Let me taste. No, it is not strawberry jam, it is blood.
Yeah. And we know that the blood is on it is the victim's blood, sir.
What? Was ripped from his costume, is covered in Corrida's blood, found in on guard's hakama.
Hakama.
No,
All
he's
of this
Phoenix
points.
Wright.
Oh, sorry. All of
Kakama.
this points very clearly to the defendant, doesn't it?
Phoenix can't speak Japanese.
Yes, it most certainly does, Your Honor. Ready to give in yet, right?
I'll find the hole in your argument somehow.
There is none. You can press as hard as you'd like. Just hurry up with your usual pointless questions.
Why are you so handsome?
Feels good to be back.
Oh, brush your...
Gumshoe, hand me that hair gel.
Yes, sir. I'll apply it immediately.
Hold it.
Holding.
But in terms of popularity, Mr. On Guard won, did he not?
Yeah. But you know what's ironic, pal? Juan Corrida was always one step behind Mr. On Guard in everything. This year, it seems like he finally caught up, ready for the big final showdown.
But Mr. Corrida lost the Grand Prix in the end.
That is too bad. He must have been pretty downhearted after losing.
Well, now he's dead-hearted.
Well, now he's just dead with no heart.
Ha, got him.
Yeah. Talk about a heart stopper.
Hold it. Stop speaking, Judge. Wait just 1 second here. Mr. On Guard was beating Mr. Corrida in the popularity polls.
Yeah, I guess, but...
Which means that in the defendant's eyes, the victim was not a rival at all. Which means he had no motive to kill at all.
Rabble.
Rabble.
Yes, I quite agree.
Uh-huh.
Well, detective, former.
It's not... Well... I guess if you put it that way, then... Yeah, the defendant would have had no motive.
Gumshoe, detective, I'm beginning to see why you were fired.
Jeez, Edward.
Oh my god. Trouble in paradise?
No, not you too, Mr. Edgeworth, sir. That's...
I look forward to your pension negotiations.
Oh god.
Oh my god.
Oh!
Wow, poor
No.
Gumshoe.
I don't know why.
This man's livelihood just keeps getting threatened in front of his face.
And we're
Now,
to blame.
Now, detective, let's continue with the testimony. There's 1 cent ramen noodles in the cafeteria.
Oh, now my poor pension, too.
Ooh, this is going in the anti-work chat.
Can you get a pension if you're fired?
If you value your
Yes.
money, I suggest you proceed.
Yeah, if you're still fired, you still get your pension.
Yes, sorry. We can talk about my pension later, sorry.
What about what I was saying? Hello, anyone? No.
Oh, fine.
Hold
Phoenix
it.
is-
Prosecution finds this pension useless.
Phoenix, assert yourself, please.
It's already proof that that button
Do it for
belongs to the victim.
Gumshoe.
Huh? What do you mean, pal?
I mean... Oh, let me put it this way. I'm asking you if you have any evidence to back up your claim that this button was ripped off the Jammin' Ninja's costume.
Huh? But you can't tell by just looking at it. And the victim's blood is on it.
Anyone could have smeared that blood on there afterward.
Mr. Edgeworth, help me, sorry.
Alright, I knew it had to be this piece of evidence. Now to reel this one in.
Red.
Huh?
Ratio. The button was the button was attached to the costume by thread, obviously. And that thread snapped when the button was torn off.
L plus ratio plus you fell off plus Gumshoe's pension is being destroyed.
If you match up the ends of the thread on the costume with the thread on the button, it's a perfect match. Hook, line, sinker.
Yeah, that's it. They're perfectly matched, pal. Take that, you amoeba.
That's it for you. Never misses a beat.
Yes.
Hold on. Cease. When was this button found?
Pretty soon after the body was found, we rounded up everyone who knew Mr. Corrida. And then we did a search on them all. That's when we found the button.
So it was almost immediately after the murder.
The police didn't have the free time to lollygag and play tricks, unlike some people.
Hey, what is he trying to say about me here? Hold on. How were the fingerprints arranged on the knife?
What do you mean, pal?
Were they stabby? By examining the fingerprints, you can determine how the defendant held the knife. Did he stab? For example, did he hold it normally or overhand?
Oh, is that what you meant? Well, we didn't actually think of that.
Of course you didn't. I can't believe the bumbling of this department.
Hopeless. Were you paying attention to the testimony right? The defendant's fingerprints were all over the knife. There is no way to determine how the knife was held at the moment of the murder.
So, is the defendant the owner of this knife then?
Oh, well, yes, it has his name tag right here,
No!
Judge.
Alright, I'm not even gonna hold it, I'm just presenting the knife itself. It's been a while though, so we're gonna save stuff.
Yeah, just shove a knife in, like, you know, the testimonials. I can't even speak today. Just shove a knife in their face. That'd work.
Objection!
A knife.
Wait a second.
What?
So the basis of your argument, that this was a premeditated murder, is simply that my client brought a knife beforehand.
Yeah, that's right, pal. The defendant.
Did not buy this knife.
Huh?
Get a load of this knife, and you'll see what I'm talking about.
Huh?
If you looked at it with your special eyes...
My brain.
It has a Gatewater seal set into the handle.
Gatewater? I think I heard that name somewhere before.
Gumshoe, please.
That's the name of the hotel. The Gatewater Hotel.
Uh-oh.
The murder knife was actually property of the hotel, which means this murder was not premeditated.
Rabble.
Yes, that is very true. This is a very big pen.
That's my new laugh.
What is it, Mr. Edgeworth? Did you laugh when I said big?
Yes, Judge, of course. I'm sorry, but the defense is simply too careless.
What?
I'm going full sicko mode. I think whether the crime was premeditated or not has already been determined.
How so?
I admit this knife is hotel property. There is no one currently on the police force that is dumb enough not to realize this.
You sure?
I didn't know. Oh.
It's okay,
Oh,
it's not on the
gumshoe.
board. The question is, where did this knife come from? The knife factory?
Why, that's obvious. It came from the victim, Mr. Corrida's room.
Shrug. Sorry, Your Honor, but you're just wrong.
Tell me this is like a kitchen knife.
You're just factually... No, it's the knife that was in the
The
defendant's
victim
room.
ate a last meal before he was murdered. With that being the case,
Ooh,
I would like to draw the court's attention to what is on top of the table.
But the knife
Wait,
is there.
Are we viewing this as an image, or is this
I'm
just like everyone?
psychically projecting this into your mind.
I was gonna say, are we just taking a tour through?
I
Through,
mean, like, in the
Edgeworth's
anime, there's a
brain.
giant-ass TV that they can show these things, but, not here.
There is a knife and a fork on the table.
It's like 2018. We don't have photographs.
Then,
No, actually, no, I strike my statement. Edgeworth is psychically projecting an image of the room in its absolutely current state. He is giving a live feed of the room with the power of his mind.
Yes.
where in the world did this knife come from?
Now you see my power. If it pleases the court,
His little head tap is very psychic of him.
Oh, yeah.
I would like for us to recall the room of the defendant, Mr. Matt on guard. Especially what was on top of his table.
A missing knife.
A sandwich.
Son of a bitch.
There is something missing. Perhaps it is a single knife.
Here's a question. Why not just stab him with a katana?
We investigated the
Probably
leftover
fake.
dishes for fingerprints and extra chicken nuggets, and while we were investigating, we came to the conclusion that they did not, in fact, eat chicken. Instead, Mr. Madamguard's knife was missing. Mr. Angard had gone to the victim's room with the knife he had used during dinner. Why would he carry a knife on a visit? To kill, of course. And with that, I believe the prosecution has proven this was a premeditated murder.
Grab
Not by the
grab
idiot.
Now, accuse him of guilt.
Amazing, Mr. Edgeworth. Absolutely brilliant. A brilliantly clear deduction.
Thank you.
It seems like Edgeworth had this planned from the very beginning.
This must be one of those traps, and I just walked headlong into it.
Here's where
Yes.
Edgeworth is working with the friggin' kidnapper.
A murder weapon with fingerprints and a button from the victim's costume. There is quite a sizable amount of evidence here.
I can safely say that any further deliberation is a waste of your Honor's time. Although, I wouldn't mind if the defense were to present evidence not yet shown to the court.
What? Hello?
I clearly have one, but maybe I just want to lose, I don't know.
Evidence not yet shown.
He means evidence that the court hasn't seen yet. In other words, new evidence.
Oh my god.
Yes.
What?
Thanks, Mia.
What does
You're
the
welcome,
defen-
Phoenix. You're the one who asked.
I mean, I can't fault you there.
Yep.
What does the defense have to say about this, Mr. Wright?
Well,
Phoenix. The judge is favoring the prosecution right now. If we answer with something wrong here,
that gavel of his will be ringing out to the sound of our
Why
feet.
is the game suddenly reminding us how to play the game?
Yeah.
Who do you work for?
Because Phoenix is dumb.
Mr. Wright,
And we
do you
are
have-
Phoenix.
do you have something important and necessary to pretend to this court?
I don't know. Do we?
What have we not sent in?
Oh, the wine glass. Yeah.
Is that actually the evidence we haven't shown?
Yeah, because everything else was kind of like in shambles
Okay.
in the room, and there was not, and this glass was the only thing not like toppled.
Is
Show me
that-
your attorney's badge.
There's one piece of evidence that catches my attention, something that this court has yet to see.
Mr. Wright, I will say this one more time. I do not feel this trial needs to continue at all.
Oh, you fucking pumpkin.
However, I am giving you one chance and only one.
Which is gonna... That is the right save for him.
What the judge is saying, right, is don't try pulling one of your usual bluffs here.
If I mess this up, it's curtains for all of us. Full
You may
bar!
now. You may now.
Oh my god!
Full
It is the
fucking
full
bar!
bar.
You just
Holy
the game
shit.
ends. Oh my god.
Like uninstalls itself off your Switch.
Yo, my Switch
Ju-
just deletes it and makes me buy it again.
The judge comes out of your switch and strangles you to death.
You may now present one and only one piece of evidence. Now then, what is this important evidence that you must show the court?
My attorney's badge.
My turn, yeah.
The wine glass.
Clearly the Magatama.
This is a wine glass, is it not? Well, it's 5 o'clock
Please look
somewhere.
at the photo of the crime scene one more time.
Look at this photograph.
The scene is a mess because of the victim's struggle against his assailant. The vase was broken, his makeup is all over the floor. These were all things that were at one point sitting on top of the dresser.
Yes, I see your point.
However, this glass that is sitting on top of the dresser is mysteriously untouched. The only thing that had not fallen over along with everything else is this wine glass. This piece of evidence is more than strange enough to warrant further consideration.
No.
Well, what do y'all
Overall,
have to say?
No, be confident, Phoenix.
Ah, well, yes, it is a little peculiar.
Yes, isn't it? I thought it was. Phoenix, you're
You can stop looking at. You can stop looking at me with those puppy dog eyes of yours now, right, boy? Mr. Edgeworth,
what is it, Your Honor? I'm a very busy man.
your opinion.
Ah, you don't need my opinion, because there is no special meaning to that glass.
What?
Edgeworth.
What?
It's safe to say that the glass was set there after the crime took place. By the person who discovered the body, Adrian Andrews, for example. She could have easily been so shocked that she set the wine glass down without thinking.
Wouldn't she have more dropped it? Never mind.
The bottle is in the
Have you seen
room.
how composed she is?
That does sound very plausible, apparently. Mr. Wright?
Could Miss Andrews really have set that glass down without thinking? No.
There's no way.
There's no way.
No way. If I appear weak here, the trial is over. I
You
can look
already
for my
appeared
proof
weak.
later. For now, I should trust my instinct and point with certainty.
They might just fall for it, if you're thought-provoking enough.
Thanks for the vote of confidence, Mia.
You're welcome.
The defense would like to challenge the prosecution's theory. We would like to see something that proves it was Miss Andrews who set the cup on the table.
You've turned the situation on its head yet again, as usual.
Indeed.
Mr. Edgeworth, do you have any proof to back up your claim?
There's no way he has any. He's just bluffing.
No, the fuck.
Unlike Mr. Wright, I never say anything unless I have the evidence to support it.
Fuck!
Exhibit A.
What?
Phoenix's stupid face. You're not thinking hard enough today, Wright. Did you think this wine glass escaped my notice?
Yes.
Yes.
Of course, it had been thoroughly inspected for fingerprints. Using modern technology.
Shit, that thing that I keep forgetting about.
Worse
Mr. Wright,
shared.
Yeah.
Where's Emma when you need her?
Where's Emma with her convenient dusting tools?
There were only one set of fingerprints left on this wine glass.
Only one? Well, whose were they? Whose were they?
They were not the victims nor the defendants. Rather, they were one of Adrian Andrews.
What? There's Andrews' fingerprints.
That is why I said that the person who had discovered the body had left it there. Well, are we done here, Mr. Wright?
I fell into another trap.
Miss Andrews was probably holding the glass when she went to see Mr. Corrida. But upon seeing his dead body, she was stunned and set the glass down on the dresser with utmost precision. You know, this is what a normal person looks like when they see a dead body.
What you just said makes a lot of sense.
It does. It certainly does. Tisk, tisk, tisk. Now do you see, Wright? You can't change any part of my scenario as it explains everything all too well.
You're so fucking handsome.
I've thought long and hard of this past year about what it means to be a prosecutor. And from here on out, I will show you the answer I have come to discover.
Did you get new hair product in that last year?
Aloe
Phoenix,
vera.
focus!
No. This is an important question.
Wait a second, Mr. Edgeworth.
L'Oreal, right? You know that.
You perfected the cornbread recipe. I think the prosecution has provided enough evidence for me to enter my verdict.
That
What?
and so much more, Judge. Unfortunately, I cannot allow you to pass judgment yet.
What?
The fuck?
You see, I'm going to perform what is called a triple dunk. The prosecution has yet another witness we would like the court to hear from.
It is a
That
move I
seems
like to call
superfluous.
the over-the-shoulder boulder holder.
Observe.
Another witness.
Yes. Bailiff, please bring the next witness.
Give me the blonde chick.
What in the
guess I'm outta
world
here.
is Mr. Edgeworth thinking?
Gumshoe,
No. The next witness is the victim.
be gone.
Oh.
Now then, witness, please state your name and occupation.
She's just gonna fangirl over Edgeworth.
Please. Witness, your name and... Psychic energy!
Who voiced her last time?
I
Chris.
had her.
No,
Go.
this is it.
Do it.
G-E-C-H-A.
My mind. I can't project psychically anymore.
I wonder what happened to that calm composure he had earlier.
Oh, Edgy boy, it has been, what, a year since we met? Hasn't it?
Where
You
does
should
the
be
makeup
more
come
happy
from?
to see me. I don't even remember what voice I used for this, so whatever. Roll.
I
That's fine.
saw the report with her testimony, but who knew that under the helmet? It was the Wicked Witch of the witness stand.
If you look at Edgeworth closely, his actual eyes are shaking.
Supposed to do. I didn't have push to talk on. I tell you, this time I know what I'm supposed to do.
The Wicked Witch of the witness stand.
So
Holy
today,
shit.
I'm going to tell you anything and everything. Even things that don't have to do with that terrible crime.
Miss Witness, that's terrible. That terrible crime is all this court needs to know.
Stop talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie now.
Just fucking guns down the judge.
Mr. Wright, call the hospital.
Did I forget to push to talk again?
Yes.
No,
God
you're-
damn it.
Oh.
Shush, I'm talking to my dear Edgy Wedgie right now. Don't interrupt us, Gramps.
Oh my god.
Yes, madam. Wait a minute.
No, please, by all means, interrupt her, Judge, please.
Good
You
lord.
literally asked for this, Edgeworth.
Your
Literally
teeth
asked
are
for
false and you smell like old Jello. Take that, Grandma.
This is what we refer to in the business as as throwing.
Edgeworth had this in the bag.
Witness
The
your
old bag.
testimony,
The
please.
old bag.
It's true what they say that youth are hot-headed nowadays. Not that I mind at all, Edgy. Now then, what should I start with?
The witness was on security detail at the hotel on the night of the murder.
With a ray gun.
Start there. Is this correct, Miss Oldbag?
It was a great job being able to see my dearie Juan. It was almost too much for my little heart to handle.
Wait, Old Bag's married?
No.
No, she,
Look
No,
at
she's
her-
just a
She's a fan of
stalker.
girls.
she's a fan of
No.
one corridor.
No, look at her left hand. She's got a wedding ring on her
You
ring
can wear
finger.
rings wherever you want.
Uh-huh.
You mean you were a fan of the victim?
Look, everyone is crazy over that Engard saying he's cute in a fresh way or something.
A delightful spring breeze.
But not me. I wouldn't say anything so silly. After all, I have no interest in a little child like him.
Well, at least there's one
Oh,
person.
God.
who doesn't
I'm
go
only
after a
interested
child.
in a real man, Juan Corrida.
Those two are the same age.
He's also dead.
He's also dead.
Anyway, as I was saying, I was pacing in front of his room that night. Not at all creepy.
No, definitely not.
Very well. Please tell the court what you witnessed the night of the murder. Succinctly, please.
Leave it to me, Edgy Poo.
Oh, God.
Man. What a good
Anyway,
character.
after the ceremony, I went to pace around in the hallway in front of his room. Not at all creepy like.
Uh-huh.
There was something I was interested in finding out, you know. Well, since I was on the job, I made sure to keep a good eye out the whole time.
Uh-huh.
That's when someone showed up. It was a man coming out of poor Juan's room. It was Engard, Matt Engard. He was trying to sneak his way out of Juan's room.
Is he wearing
Right.
the costume?
So Mr. Engarde came out from the victim's room.
See, it has to be him. He's the murderer.
Hmm.
I see.
Do you?
Well, Mr. Wright, you may begin your cross-examination.
Oh boy. What you saw? Hold it. Just hold it. Miss Oldbag, what was your post on that night? What was your post on that? Whatever.
The lobby. I was supposed to help set up the stage for that trifling show. But I refused to help, I'll have you know. It was for that lead-headed samurai's show. Hey, I even took out a few of the nails.
Oh my lord.
Maybe it was a good thing the show didn't go on.
Besides, that manager with the glasses seemed to be working hard at it without me. So I thought I would take a little break and spread my wings a little.
And that's when you went to hang around the victim's door. All that. Zeus. Something you were interested in, and just what was that?
It's not some little thing I could just go around telling everyone you know. It's top secret between me and Juan.
Okay.
Yeah, and Edgy Poo, of course.
Alright.
Mr. Edgeworth, what is this thing she was interested in?
I think I might need an adult for this answer.
I
Please
have
no,
no
I am an adult.
idea. I despise gossip, Your Honor. But should it prove relevant, we can always have it appended to a testimony later.
It looks like we should enforce it right now.
Thanks.
What? And did the witness stay in the vicinity of the victim's door the entire time?
All that. Oh, then would you tell us the number of people who went in and out of Mr. Garita's room?
I have no idea.
Of course you don't.
I wasn't born so I could count things for people who don't pay attention in class. That's why ever since I turned 20, I quit keeping track of how old I really am.
Yes, well, that would explain why your age was not included in the report. All it
That's
said
why-
was, and I quote, ancient.
That's why her age is
Mystery.
questionable. There's not even an official
Doesn't
record.
know
It
herself.
actually says older than dust in the fine print.
In any case, the witness then saw someone, correct?
All that. Who in the world was that?
I'm not allowed to say. This sort of information has to be carefully guarded from the masses, Sonny. The man that came out of Juan's room, he was...
Yes,
Samurai?
he was?
Ah, I'm too scared. I can't say his name out loud.
Oh,
The
what
killer?
I wouldn't give to have Francisca's whip right about now.
It's somebody called.
Well, I guess I can tell you, since he was such a bad boy anyway.
Is it the samurai?
It was right. All that. You saw my client. Are you sure about that?
Yesy!
Really?
Annoying brat when I say I saw one, I saw that person.
Might
Isn't
I
that our
remind
problem with
you
the last
that you
case?
said you saw Will Powers, but it was not, in fact, Will Powers.
Objection. Referencing previously determined court
Previous
cases.
game cannot do that.
Why do I get a sense
But Will
of...
Powers is in this game too. We should just get him on the stand as a rebuttal witness.
Why do I get a sense of deja vu? Maybe to avoid repeat of last year, I should delve into this a bit further. The person's face. Please tell the court about the man's face in more detail.
You don't need me to tell about his face.
Yes, I do.
I think we do.
That soft, gentle look in his eyes and his effeminate lips.
Uh-huh.
His right eye covered by his silky hair. His sparkling, shining teeth.
Is it his right? Is it
Chip
his...
Skylar?
Chip Skylark! His teeth were shining.
Well, he's shining all around in this week's pinup poster, dearie.
This week's... You know, why do you... I mean, I don't care how he looks in this week's issue. Please stay with what you saw that night.
What? Engard's face is the same no matter where it is, you know, you whippersnapper.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
It was very important. Totally. Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Objection. Then perhaps you would like to point out what part of that testimony was important.
You don't really have to put it that way to get me to say.
Mr. Wright, there is something much more valuable than a person's pride, and that is time. Lunchtime specific, and we're going to be late if you don't hurry up. Please don't waste this court's precious time with worthless questions.
Yes, Your Honor. I think I just wasted his good favor.
She may not remember things or be mistaken here and there, but I don't think she's lying.
That's bad for us. Really bad.
But that's how the human mind is. It also has the tendency to jump off topic.
Psychoanalysis with Mia Fey.
She's strayed onto a few interesting side topics this time, too, hasn't she? That's what makes her a sweet old lady, right?
That's because you're not the one who has to question her. Ah! Alright, do we press that again and maybe ask another question? Maybe. Ah, heck. Heck. Alright.
Heckin' hash.
Yeah. Damn it! Did it again. Alright. This. Okay. Madame Girl. Alright. Hold it. Alright, we're just gonna. Alright. What the person was carrying or the person's clothes. Alright. So we don't have to do that nonsense again.
Yeah.
Wearing? Sure. Please tell the court about the man's clothes in more detail.
What a troublesome man you are. Really, as if something like that matters.
But it does.
No Supreme, huh?
Now what was it? Oh yes, it was that thing.
What thing?
That gaudy thing he's always wearing, that racing jacket.
Ah, he was wearing that at the detention center, too.
That thing's meant for nothing but seducing women out of their pantaloons. Ha! Men.
Wouldn't he have been wearing his costume?
Right.
Good point.
So, Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way? Oh, we're doing this again.
Yeah.
It's not important.
Oh.
Guess it really wasn't that important after all.
Mr. Wright, do you know when we say time is valuable? If not, I suggest you learn.
You've wasted 3 minutes of this woman's youth. That's more valuable than gold to me.
Why do I suddenly feel old in the presence of her childish whining?
You may
Man.
not remember. Yeah.
Do we want to try the last one, or do we think it's worth it?
Yeah, I mean, do all three. Why not?
Yeah. All right. So I'm just gonna hold it. Oh, y'all mind if I hold it?
Mm-hmm.
Alright. What the person was carrying. What was the man you saw carrying?
In which hand? His right or his left?
Both.
Ah, now this is a real mess.
Is it?
Okay, why don't I ask your right hand and then the left hand?
Uh-huh.
I mean, I can't be expected to answer such a vague question.
Yes, you can. There's only 2 other options.
I said vague question.
I hate this woman.
Indeed. Please be more specific with your question, Mr. Wright.
Good lord.
God.
Sorry. What was the man you saw carrying in his right hand?
Ah, he wasn't carrying anything in that hand.
I'm going to scream. In this courtroom. Then how about his left?
Empty.
Oh my god.
And where was the knife?
Well, this whole thing has been a lot of nothing.
I feel like all
So,
of this-
Mr. Wright, was this testimony just now important or relevant in any way?
It was
kind of-
very important.
Judge.
Really carrying it.
Of course it was, Your Honor.
Objection. Then perhaps you would like to point out that part of testimony that was important.
You don't really have to put that. Man. Alright, well. That was, enlightening. Great.
We
Alright.
have to go back and say we're not able to present anything at this time?
No.
We didn't try saying the clothes was important.
The clothes was important. Oh, yeah. So you're thinking he would still probably be in his, nickel samurai outfit, right?
Yeah, because
Yeah.
he was
The
just
button
on
was
stage
ripped off.
for the
was
award,
the-
and then
yeah,
he
it
was
was the
going
stage.
back on stage.
Oh, yeah, because the button was found in his costume.
Yeah, because then
Yeah.
because the Jagamashi was so convinced about that costume, but
Right.
yeah.
Okay. Right answer, wrong combination. Alright. Deja vu, what the person was wearing. What's the this, what's the blood, what it does, that thing. He was wearing the racing jacket. He's got, I guess it was very important. It was very important.
Betty.
Of course it was important, Your Honor.
Then perhaps you would like to point that out. Right.
Don't you see it, Edgeworth? Your Honor, I request what the witness said about the jacket be appended to her testimony.
I don't see where you're going with this, but alright, witness please.
Ah, well, I don't like to badmouth anyone without reason, but if I must...
Hold it. Stop. Are you sure the defendant was wearing a racing jacket?
What do you think? It's not like I've seen him in anything other than that horrible thing. I'm sure he was wearing it.
She's so sure of herself that it's to the point of self-absorption.
Yeah, you've heard this before.
That's really bad for us. Alright, well now we have to present the button on that last one. Alright. Present the baton. Yeah, found in the Hakama.
Hakama.
In the costume.
The Hakama. Objection! Miss Oldbag.
What? Don't say my name for no reason.
Do you know what this is?
Ah! It's button number 2 on the German Ninja's costume!
Why do you know?
Why number 2?
Because I said it was number 2!
Now I know she's an obsessed fan. She identified it in a single glance.
Give it here, give it here! If you don't give it to me, I'll punish you with this!
This is court evidence, ma'am. I don't think that's allowed.
I said...
She really is a diehard fan to want a button covered in blood. This
I mean,
button
it's
was
probably
discovered on
more
Mr.
valuable.
On Guard's body during a full
Yeah,
body
it's-
search.
See? See? This button proves beyond a shadow of a doubt it was on Rascal Engard.
It was caught up in the pleats of his Nickel Samurai Hakama pants. Hakama pants.
See? See? And Engardi is the Nickel Samurai!
Witness! Now it may just be me, and I do have an active imagination.
Yes.
But just now, didn't you say that the defendant, Matt on Guard, was wearing his usual racing jacket?
Ah,
No.
I'm so sorry! Sorry that you judge people based on what they wear! If I wore the trendiest dress, then maybe you think I'm most gorgeous, but instead I have to put up with the ridiculous looking outfit. You don't agree this outfit is hideous, right? I've got a tape recorder set right. It's right, it's heavy. It's so heavy I would have switched to CDs years ago, but I'm keeping that dream alive for all the kids out there. I worked harder when I was 12, you understand? Now, take a look in the mirror. Your clothes are about as interesting as a documentary on Curly. You should take a tip for Mel Edgewood. Now, he's us out.
That's a 10 out of 10.
Now hold your tongue still there for 1 second. So what you saw in actuality was not Mr. Engarde, the man, but Mr. Engarde, the Nickel Samurai?
They're two different people.
But when you think about it,
No, you
Rabble,
can't
rabble,
say that
rabble.
it's definitely him.
they're
No,
really one and the same anyway.
no.
Imagine with that
Miss
Steel Samurai
Oldbag.
case.
This is a very important point we're talking about.
Edgy Poo, do you think so too?
Well, it might be something worth considering.
Just say it's important and agree with me for a change.
No.
To be fair, Phoenix, it is his job to prove you wrong.
To be an attack lawyer.
Yeah.
Witness, think carefully and try to remember as much as you can before you testify.
Ah, all right, if you insist.
I should be the one sighing, not you.
Engard. Yes, now I remember.
Of course you do.
Nickel Samurai. That's right. It was the Nickel Samurai that I saw. Yes, it would have been convenient for him to wear his costume during the murder.
Deja vu.
He had to
Really
go to that
did just
post-ceremony
talk to me.
stage show after the crime, you know. So he must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing poor Juan. We totally didn't see this case already.
I knew.
Copy and paste.
I knew you'd say he was inside that costume.
What? Did you think there could have been someone else inside that costume?
Yes!
Don't be a bad little boy thinking such rude things.
But the possibility does exist.
Ah, youngins today. I told you there is no way it was anyone else.
Uh-huh.
This is exactly what got you perjury the last time.
How do you know that?
Because I said so, and what I say is the truth.
Oh my god. At least she's just as delightful a witness as she was a year ago.
But what if she's lying about that statement?
Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Gladly. Hold it. No, you don't. No, you don't. You don't remember. Would you please get on with your testimony?
Ha! Watch your language, young man. What sort of tone is that to take with an elder? My youthfulness isn't what it used to be, so you should forgive me for everything. If you keep on barking at me like that, I'll start singing at the top of my lungs.
What?
Wouldn't you pain?
How much do I have to
A
pay the judge
striking
to throw her
figure
out?
by the sea, standing all alone is he. He's the nickel samurai. I have no idea what that tune's supposed to be. I'm just making shit up.
She's actually saying,
Nah,
someone help my poor ears.
Mr. Edgeworth, can you please do something about this racket?
Witness, I'll give you a piece of gum later if you'll be good and stick to just the facts.
My gum.
Holy shit.
I already gave away my
Also-
ShopRite discount.
Okay, you promised, right?
Wait, is he giving her
Right.
a piece of gum from him? Like,
I will
I-
give
I don't
I'll
want
be-
to go down this line of thinking.
I'll be
will give
sending
you,
the bill for the chewing gum to your office at a later date.
I will give
Chewing
you
gum
a
is like
free
$1.
piece of gum.
I will literally give you gumshoe
Gum
if
shoe.
you stop bothering me.
oh my
Remind me
god,
to send you a
sure.
thank you note later too, Edgeworth, old chum.
No thanks.
Hold it.
Nothing necessary.
Be a little more careful with your testimony, please. Not too long ago, you said he was wearing his racing jacket, and now he's not.
Not too long ago? Then let me ask you this. When you were itty bitty, what was your grand dream? What did you want to be when you grew up, whippersnapper?
An artist.
Dream, huh? Well, I wanted to be Judge Wagner, hero of the public's court. So what?
Who?
See?
What?
Hello?
And look where you are now. You're not Judge Wagner, are you? Are you?
Is it?
Say he's halfway there.
Is
What?
this a
She's
reference
such a
that I don't
bully.
understand?
Yeah, Judge Wagner?
Also, like, Phoenix is a 24 and an accomplished lawyer. Like,
Yeah, he's halfway to being a judge.
Yeah.
Basically decrepit.
Well, hey.
What I said earlier. Who puts any weight to things like that? The now is everything. I can't be responsible for the past.
That is literally what perjury is for.
Yes.
Since when did court become theatrics over testimonies?
All that matters is that man was inside that costume. Isn't that enough?
Yes, that does matter, if he was.
When did this game come out?
2003?
1982.
2003, 2004, maybe?
Because there's a show called The Good Fight that has a Judge Wagner in it, but it's from 2017.
Huh. Well, that can't be
This
it.
game told
Yeah,
me.
definitely not. I played this game while I was in college.
Hold
Game
it!
is prophetic.
And why would that be? Why did you play this game when you were in college?
That way, no one could see his face, of course.
But there's still no advantage for him that I can see. In fact, you would think the costume would make him stand out all the more.
You are such an annoying child. You know that? You disagree with everything I say.
Isn't that what you're always doing to me?
I got it. Maybe it was more troublesome for him to change in and out of his costume.
Maybe. Hold it. Seize. Was there anyone else scheduled to appear at the post-ceremony show?
Well, all the contestants were supposed to go on stage in a friendly gesture thing.
And that included the Jammin' Ninja.
Of course it included him. That's why when Engard came out of Dear Wan's room, I didn't give it a second thought.
I see.
Well, anyway.
Hold it. So let me ask you one last time. The person you saw, it really was the Nickel Samurai.
As showy as ever. Haven't I been saying that from the very beginning?
Can I throw in the towel yet?
You don't need to think too hard on this one.
Thanks. What?
There's a contradiction in her testimony, and it's sitting in plain sight. The question is what that contradiction means for us.
Well, I have to figure out what you're talking about first, but okay. Cryptic as always. Alright, so now we have to present something. What are we presenting? It might be a profile, but let's see. Article, Clearwater Hotel. This is that. There's the guitar case, there's the wine glass, there's the crime photo. There's the suicide report, there's autopsy report, there's the kniff, and there's that. I'm thinking it might have to be a profile.
What does the costume look like? Do we have a picture of that?
We do. We do indeed.
Can you just go through the dialogue?
Yeah.
Obviously, don't press everything again. I'm just.
Is he wearing gloves?
Yes.
Then how did his fingerprints get on the knife?
That's a great question. Well,
wasn't he saying it was the dinner knife?
yeah, it was the dinner. So like he was
Yeah.
eating dinner and then he was like in costume or something, but like there's still something that hasn't added up yet. Okay. Now we remember Nickel Samurai. You saw the comedian from wear his costume during the murder.
Would it?
How'd you go to that post-ceremony stage show right after the crime? Must have worn that Nickel Samurai costume when he was stabbing Warlong.
Well, we pointed out a big contradiction was the fact that at one point she said he was wearing it, at one point she said he wasn't wearing the costume.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, the fingerprints thing is a good point.
And also, does it say anything about the scarf? That seems a bit reachy, but...
Yeah.
Because she said he stabbed him, but he was strangled.
Oh! Yeah, okay. So, wears costume, give that poster after the crime. When it's stabbing, right, okay. So,
yeah, and
so
then
we just present the autopsy report.
Yeah.
Objection! Is that not it? Are you kidding me?
Oh god.
I mean, there was a stabbing, but
Yeah.
Alright.
the strangle part.
This evidence clearly reveals the contradiction in that statement, Your Honor.
How
Yeah,
exactly are the evidence in this statement just not related?
They aren't, are they?
Well, I mean, they are, but...
They are.
But we're
in a
not
conclusive-
Galaxy Brain
Not in the way the game wants it to be.
No.
Think better,
yeah.
forehead.
It'd be nice if this game got you pick like one or two options from the evidence.
Alright, so that's not the thing that do. Alright.
So is it the costume route, like with the fingerprints?
Probably.
That's
We're gonna
too big
we're gonna
for you.
save now at this point.
Yeah, because the fingerprint or she's talking in the stabbing part. She's talking about the knife having all of his fingerprints over it, and then his costume wouldn't have had the fingerprints.
okay, yeah. So we present here,
Yeah.
but we present the knife.
Yeah, present the knife because it's.
Yeah, that's it. Okay. Objection.
There we go.
Please take a look at this. Get a load of this.
Yeah, so it's a knife. Big deal. If you're trying to scare me with that, I'll have you know it won't work.
Miss Oldbag, this is evidence. I'm not trying to threaten you with a knife. No. That's not my intention at all.
That's the knife that was used in the murder, correct?
Your Honor, do you know why this piece of evidence is important to this case?
You don't even have
of
to
the
ask.
murder weapon?
It's because the defendant's fingerprints are on it.
Oh, the judge is smart today.
Is that what you're driving at?
That is exactly what I am driving at.
What are we driving at? And whose car are we driving?
Judge.
Is it
You were
Edward's?
saying the judge was smart?
Get
I
it
take that back.
together.
He used up his one good dialogue, and now he is stupid.
The one
If-
brain cell.
Yeah.
If Mr. On Guard was really in the Nickel Samurai costume at the time of the murder, then it's impossible for his fingerprints to have been left on this knife. Actually, he would have wiped all previous fingerprints on this knife right off.
Rabble, rabble.
Oh, that's right. The Nickel Samurai wears gloves, doesn't he?
Objection. He probably took his gloves off before he began the stabbing.
Probably, eh? Objection! And why would he do something like that? To leave his prints on the murder weapon? Ha! There was no way he would do something like that.
I don't know, he's really
However,
stupid.
there is one possibility.
Then let's hear your possibility.
It's very simple. The defendant went to the victim's room while in costume as the Nickel Samurai, and at that time the defendant held no intent to murder. He was probably just going to relax and talk with the victim about the stage show,
And why did he bring the knife?
which is why he took his gloves off.
Still did take place.
It's well known that there was bad blood between the defendant and the victim.
Yeah, so why would he bring the knife from his room if he was having a nice talk with Gordita?
I'm
And
getting
wasn't
to
your
that.
previous theory of the crime that it was premeditated?
Bless you.
Yes, I have heard that before. Well, Mr. Wright, what do you have to say about Mr. Edgeworth's theory?
So let me get this straight. Edgeworth's theory goes like this. When the defendant went to the victim's room, he had no intention of killing him. Now, up to this point, are there any problems with his theory? Yeah.
He's been saying it's premeditated.
This theory contradicts something in an earlier testimony.
What are you blabbering about?
Now, for argument's sake, let's suppose Mr. On Guard was the killer. If that's the case, I think it's impossible for the killer to have gone to the victim's room without intent. The
Just
knife.
the knife again.
This knife. This was used by Mr. On Guard at dinner.
Yes, we did establish that.
Which means that if my client was in fact the killer, then he brought this knife with him when he went to visit Mr. Corita.
I suppose.
However, you just said it yourself. At that time, the defendant held no intent to murder. If that were true, then why would he bring a knife? He wouldn't, would he? Which means, Mr. Edgeworth, your theory was flawed from supposition 1.
Oh no.
Rabble.
My
And one
brilliant
more thing.
theory.
If the murderer was wearing the costume at the time of the murder, then there should be glove marks left on the knife. Which means the defendant's fingerprints shouldn't be all over it like bees on a hive. And that brings me to my final point. This knife was planted by the real killer to hide their identity and mislead us.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Rabble.
Order! Order, I say! Order in the court! Was this knife really planted by the killer?
The killer?
Why would the murderer do such a thing? I don't know, because they're fucking
To
smart.
the murder method?
To frame Matt On Guard.
I don't know why this is a choice, but here we are.
Okay.
I'm gonna save anyway.
Just because we sometimes do galaxy brain this
It's
shit.
in the
but
game, but to frame Matt On Guard. It's to frame my client, Mr. On Guard, of course.
The frame.
Objection. Aren't you forcing the interpretation just a little too hard on this one?
Objection! No! But we just established that the witness saw the Nickel Samurai in costume, and if that were true, then there shouldn't be a single fingerprint on this knife.
Witness.
looks like I've made your life a tiny bit more difficult, huh, Edgy Poo?
Witness, did you or did you not really see this Nickel Samurai?
Well, I guess at first I might have forgotten, but...
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
Are you saying you mixed up Mr. On Guard with the Nickel Samurai, his character on TV?
But I mean, I can't really do anything about that now. Look, I was waiting around in front of the doors because, well, Well, I wasn't waiting around for the Nickel Samurai, that's for sure.
She wasn't waiting for the Nickel Samurai. Alright then. Who were you waiting around for then?
Juan Cordita?
That's top secret to anyone outside of security.
I have a feeling that you were waiting for Mr. Juan Corrida. Am I correct, witness?
Thank you, Judge.
Ha, ha, ha. The way you think, you're a sad amateur with a terrible case of nearsightedness.
Amateur? Me? What am I an amateur of?
So
Listen
Old
here,
Bag
you
was
old
waiting
bitch.
around in front of the victim's room. But it doesn't sound like she was waiting to catch a glimpse of Mr. Corrida.
Maybe. Phoenix, maybe the old bag was waiting around for that person.
If it's who I think Mia's hinting at, it's certainly possible. Miss Oldbag, you were waiting for this person to come out of the victim's room, weren't you?
Damn it, that's all of them.
Gumshoe.
Dick Gumshoe, former detective. Adrian Andrews, age 28.
Who is this person?
This is Adrian Andrews, Mr. On-Guard's manager.
But why would the defendant's manager be in the victim's room?
It seems that this is the latest rumor in circulation, Your Honor, according to the tabloid.
Oh, this is... Ha! I see. It's a piece of paper with
Judge.
writing on it.
The judge seems to be really into the article, if it can be called such a thing.
No, there's cartoons on the back, dummy. Then this manager with the initials AA. Are you saying it's...
Adrian Andrews. Without a doubt, the witness thought so as well.
Huh. Looks like you found me out. Well, that's fine. I could throw away this whole sworn to confidentiality stuff then.
Witness? What in the world are you...
Watch out, Phoenix. I've got a bad feeling about this. A very bad feeling.
I've got some information, some very secret information from a certain source. So that's why I was doing my own little investigation. In secret, of course.
Secret.
But what for?
Oh, just for myself, personal reasons and all that.
I've had enough. Bailiff, execute her immediately.
Whoa!
Okay, boss.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, how will you proceed from here?
I really don't want to do this. However, I cannot simply let this point slide.
I see. Very well then, witness, please testify about this secret information.
Get ready! This is gonna take the wind out of you youngins!
Oh boy.
But I'm old.
I'm sure we're all capable of handling this. Really, it's not like we're 10 years old.
I mean, Pearls is when she's not being Mia.
Secret information.
Burger's correct.
That Engard is one evil, evil man! He thought he could ruin poor Juan by causing a huge scandal. So, to do that, he sent his own manager to get in close with Juan. I cannot condone such dirty tricks, so I took action. Oh, and this is top secret. You got that? Nobody else but you and me know yet, okay?
Alright.
And the court record, but you know.
The defendant sent his manager? What a distasteful topic for this court.
Judge, please.
What? Nobody's above gossip. And isn't there a little saying? The truth is never pleasant.
Judge, we just had a ring of people who might be considered a little bit of groomers, to put it lightly.
Yeah. Mr. Edgeworth, what about this Adrian Andrews person?
A circus ring, if you will. Got him.
We have looked into this matter and found that the truth the article proposes is in fact baseless gossip.
But should this be true, then this proves that the defendant did bear ill will towards the victim.
So this means I have to smash this rumor once and for all.
Now then, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Man,
again.
we're gonna break our promise to Adrian. That's not gonna be fun.
Yeah, I knew it.
That's not gonna be fun.
Be careful. The old bag seems rather excited now.
That's right. Engard is nothing but your average foul-blooded youth. I wanted to say different words there, but
Well, as the old saying goes, you've got to burn old bags with fire.
What?
what?
old saying?
Phoenix, you made that up.
We're good with making up old sayings tonight.
know what
Yeah,
they say.
you know what they say. Fucking, everyone is guilty. Yeah.
Make shit up as you go along.
Pick shit up
that's
as you go along. Time to
That's
fire
my
up the
favorite
afterburners
saying.
and hit the highway to the danger zone.
Dangerous.
Phoenix.
Highway to the copyright.
Hold it. You can't say something like that without proof. That's just
It's
illegal.
But it's true. That woman was getting intimate with poor Juan. Look, it says so right here, doesn't it? Manager to the stars, Miss A. A.
The name of the magazine this came from is Gossipland.
What? Are you saying that gossip is all just a pack of lies?
Yes, that is what I am saying.
What do
It's
you
not.
know?
It's not necessarily that.
I
It's more
suppose
so
next you'll
it's.
swear to me that the news is 100% truth.
I mean, also incorrect, but it was a different time.
Honestly, Sonny, you can't discriminate between the news and gossip.
I mean, that's fair.
Yes, discrimination is bad, Mr. Wright.
That's what we take out of that.
Well done, Jum. Well done, Judge.
When did I do anything like that?
Hey, at least he's not prejudiced.
Anyway, Engard will never get me to say Tushi.
Bullshit.
Tushy.
Pushy.
Hold it.
Tushy.
A scandal. What do you mean by that?
You're a dim-witted one, aren't you? I can't believe you don't know what a scandal is. Don't they teach you that stuff in lawyer school? Honestly, what are they teaching kids in middle lawyer school these days?
Did Phoenix go to law school?
No. I wasn't asking what the word scandal means. Even I know that much.
Well, that Engard, though, thought he could own a monopoly on popularity.
Hold it. You don't have any proof that Mr. Engard did any such thing.
You must be suffering from shock, the shock of hearing the truth.
Oh my god.
And now, since you're in so much shock, you can't do anything right.
You're right. I can't do anything. But boy, do I wish I could do something about you.
Alrighty then, Sonny, show me what you've got. Can you show me proof that Engard didn't bear any ill will towards Juan?
That seems like a
That seems like a save point.
very specific save point.
Yes.
Yeah. I'm not going to let you push me around that easily.
Heh, there's many a man who said those exact words and paid dearly for them.
Well, maybe you should brace yourselves this time. Here's my proof that Mr. Engard did not hold any ill will towards the victim.
Magadama.
Oh, I can't do the Magadama. You know,
The attorney's badge.
The fucking
you know,
Murder.
the
He didn't do.
the
Or maybe
the
did.
I think this was a trap.
you know. You don't say. I'm gonna put the mic glass, and that's just not gonna work. I'm just
Is
kidding.
that it? You can take it from here, Edgy Poo.
Why are you handing it over to me for? I just work here.
So you could give that jagged-headed baboon boy a message for me, please. Tell him that no matter what he does, the only thing he's good at for is failing.
What she said, right? Or should I say, baboon boy?
Good lord.
Adore, you have more sophistication than this.
Yes, I agree. This isn't much of a piece of evidence, baboon boy.
Good lord.
Judge.
Could you just fucking
Get
Literally.
get
That's
Obliterated
amazing.
Phoenix.
Could you just
The
put
judge
wrecked?
just called you
Baboon
Baboon
Boy.
Boy.
Did I just gain a new nickname?
Phoenix, return to monkey
And
immediately.
you were lecturing me about saying things without proof. Baboon boy. You've just given me a free pass to say whatever I want. Whatever I want, silly baboon boy.
Oh my god. My big mouth.
That's the way the cookie crumbles. For you, anyway.
Right. So, what do you mean by I took action?
Like I already told you, I was lying in wait close to the crime scene. Once that slimy woman came out of Juan's room, I was going to capture her and teach her a good lesson. Something you young'uns need.
You were going to capture her?
You were going to teach her a good lesson?
I was going to make her eat the damaging beans of my ray gun!
That sounds.
Sure.
You heard me, ray gun! Like this!
Ow. Ow. Judge.
No, stop, please. Enough.
Well,
Oh, no.
it was too bad that woman didn't come through the door that night.
I think she did.
Wait,
Did she come through the door?
Wait,
I think
well,
she
because
did.
there was the tomato apple juice, whatever. What? I'm a busy woman. Tea time with the kids is over.
secret information that no one else knows yet. If that's true, then how do you know this secret information?
Huh. Well, that's because I'm a pro. Yes, that's it. It's a secret. Even if you drill a hole into my brain, you'll never find out.
How in the world did that old bag get such a secret piece of information?
Magic.
Uh,
Oh, the stolen camera?
oh. If you don't be a good girl and tell me where you got the secret information, you won't get to go home today!
What?
What was that threat?
Phoenix.
Edgy Poo, what are you doing? Help me!
Oh, speaking her language now. What do I have to do with this?
You brought me here. Just do this for me. You'll get your reward.
I don't like
I
that.
don't
Oh,
want your
dear.
reward, but you don't leave me much of a choice. The witness could have gotten her information from anywhere. It's even possible that it has spontaneously made up inside the witness's head.
I think that's what you're not supposed to say, Edgy Poo.
Lectures me on reckless blabbering?
She could be talking nonsense for all we know. We shouldn't even listen to her.
We don't know how old she is. She could be totally senile.
Oh my
As
god,
long
did Wendy Oldbag steal the camera?
Yeah.
Maybe. Yeah.
Oh,
As long as we don't know where this information came from, it's quite a waste of time to focus on this line of questioning.
Where did Oldbag get her inside information? There has to be something I can use to figure it out.
Sounds just like another.
Oh, that's not me.
Hi, sorry.
This game and its scene changes without actually changing the talker is very
Yeah.
strange. Sounds like just another tidbit of gossip, doesn't it?
But you can't just ignore it either. It makes your client look bad either way.
Well, I don't think I heard anything really out of the ordinary just now.
There has to be something we can catch her on.
Yeah, and when I find it, I'm gonna press the heck out of it.
Press.
So, that, this... Alright. So, I'm gonna press... I'm gonna wait until I get to present evidence.
Oh no, a cat.
It's a secret. Present Alvidanche. She got the information from her secondary independent persona. So, no one else is supposed to know this secret information, correct? If that's true, then why do you know it, Miss Oldbag?
Why are you looking at me like that? Stop it, that.
Witness! I hate to say it, but this is how you came to acquire your secret info, isn't it?
The camera.
Mhm.
The investigative photographer, Lotta Hart.
Oh yes, I remember that mischievous girl.
She reported that she had lost a certain note she had written to herself.
She reported such a thing?
On that piece of paper, she had written down some of her impressions about the relationship between the victim and Miss
What outrageous ideas you say?
Oh, the music's kicking in.
Ah, fuck.
No. I said impressions.
Then everything read on this piece of paper is completely meaningless?
Ah,
good job.
that's it. That's the note.
Ah!
Why do you believe pieces of paper you find on the ground?
This is something completely different. This is my top secret list of groceries to buy.
Then you are the one who took Miss Hart's note.
I'm a huge fan of wands, that's why. That infamous puffy-haired whippersnapper. She's working with the evil Ungard. She said to herself, Ungard, I'm his sidekick. Oh wait, I forgot she has the whatever accent. She was so happy, smiling like a silly duck. I was only checking what she had written. Edgy Poo, you believe me, don't you?
Edgeworth comes back after a year and gets subject to this
I would-
torment.
The same
I would-
bullshit again.
I made a mistake
people.
coming back.
Why?
I was only trying to help out like the angel I am.
He only
yes.
filled in for Francesca because she was shot.
Maybe the biblically accurate angel, but
The one that you should be holy heck balls afraid of.
yeah.
Which one? The one that's just eyeballs or the one that's spinning in constant rotation?
The one with the wheel eyeballs. It's only one little piece of paper. I've never taken anything else before.
You really should come up with a supply of cheese to match your vintage wine.
What a fucking awesome line.
Oh my god. Edgy Poo.
They gave all the best lines to Edgeworth.
What an amazing line.
It's
Yeah.
only a piece of paper. I suppose we could overlook this just this once. No!
She's really sorry.
No,
Should I
Judge,
forgive
no.
No!
No.
Pile on more pressure. If I let up on her now, she'll get away. I have to find
Yeah.
some way to inflict a deafening blow to the prosecution. Witness, you said that the only thing you stole was that note. Is this correct?
What about the camera?
Stole? Why don't you listen more carefully, you annoying brat? I saved this piece of paper from the terrible lonely trash can. That's all.
You're lying, damn it, and I can prove it.
Phoenix said, damn it.
Oh
Are
wait,
you
wasn't it
putting my
inside her
credibility under scrutiny again?
Yes,
camera case?
Miss Oldbag. I don't believe that the note is the only thing you stole that night. Lotta's camera. Miss Oldbag. That note was with a camera inside its case, wasn't it?
A camera?
Yesterday, Lotta Hart was raising a huge stink over her camera. She kept saying something like, "My sweetie's $1,600 camera disappeared on me."
That was a good impression.
That was good.
What? Witness?
What is it, Gramps?
If you have the note, then it is only logical that you have the camera too.
Looks like you found me out again, Sonny. Is this the camera you're looking for?
Yes.
You just produce it on the
That's
spot.
stolen property.
That's
That's... What? Even though I look like this, I'm still a person, you know. I still eat meals like you, fall in love, and borrow things from people.
Why did you say that in air quotes?
I think your definition of air quotes borrow is a little off.
I saw that woman's business card, and that's when I noticed. It said, Slime Bag Celebrity Photographer Extraordinaire.
Yeah, why would she produce the camera? She literally had no reason to produce the camera.
Just incriminated herself.
But when I saw that, I had to know what sort of pictures she had taken. I'm a professional security guard. It's my business to know these things.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Bailiff! Prepare the smacking of the nuts! Check this camera's photos, hurry! We must examine them at once!
Oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy.
Oh boy, more
What-
evidence.
What?
Oh
What
boy, oh boy, oh
incriminating
boy.
evidence?
More evidence.
Well, Mr. Edgeworth, what do we have?
A clusterfuck.
How many times has
There's
Lotta's
only-
photographs been key evidence?
There's only one photo that seems to be relevant to this case. The rest are of, well, bears.
Please present it to the court.
Is it? Ah, yes.
Oh.
But clearly
This
too
is the
short.
Nickel Samurai!
With short pant legs, looks like. Just like the last game.
Clearly too short.
Yup.
See, I told you. That's the guy I saw.
This proves that the witness was not lying earlier about the matter.
She wasn't lying entirely.
She was just lying. She was not lying, asterisk.
Yeah. It's the Nickel Samurai, asterisk. It's the Nickel Samurai's costume.
What does all this mean, Mr. Edgeworth?
This photo by itself does not prove that the person it is in the defendant, however.
Not guilty. Perfect.
It would
I
have been
didn't
more
say
original
that.
if they had
In
actually
his own
had him.
confession, Mr. Ungar clearly stated that. At the time of the murder, he was still in his Nickel Samurai costume.
If that is the case, then this Nickel Samurai is
Duplicate.
Two of them.
The defendant.
That was the way
Bravo,
we were
bravo,
hoping it was
bravo.
not gonna be.
How did it come to this? I think this brings us to the end. We have examined every piece of evidence thoroughly.
Have we?
Final comments, Mr. Wright? This court will consider them before we close. Do you agree that this photo is decisive evidence against your client?
This photo really is decisive, then we're done for. If I raise an objection here and blow it, then I would put Maya's life in jeopardy. I can't make a mistake here. There's only one road out of this mess. This photo
Wait,
that
is
Lotta
that
took.
the-
There's
Is that the Nickel Samurai?
something strange.
Yeah.
in it.
Isn't he one of three?
There's something strange with this photo.
I knew this was coming, right? Yes.
Your thoughts, Mr. Edgeworth?
I think we can all agree there's nothing strange with this photo.
Listen here, Edgeworth.
No, you listen. There is no way for the defense to debunk this photo, even with a bunker buster.
What?
Debunk with a bunker buster. Is that what you're planning to do, Mr.
You
Wright?
see, it's a type of aerial munition, or munition launched from a howitzer, whatever.
Yeah, you know the old saying, debunk with a bunker buster.
Anyway, please look at the photo once more time.
If you really believe you can honestly find something wrong with this photo,
Well, you see, Your Honor, the
Then you-
the Nickel Samurai forgot to eat his veggies and is a little small today.
then you should only need one chance, correct? Well, Mr. Wright, they make pills for that. You understand when you're my age.
I have to find something wrong with this photo. I can't let this chance go by. Where the heck did she take this photo from anyway? So, we're gonna bring it
Land.
in.
Oh, the teddy
We're
bear.
gonna bring it to- yeah, the teddy bear. On the chair, outside of, Karita's room.
Oh, Lita.
It's all out of focus. Why can't she take a good shot, especially when it counts?
Now then, let's hear your objection.
All or nothing. This. Right here.
What's wrong with that?
Too short.
I would like to direct the court's attention to this one area right here.
Pants are too long.
What are you pointing to? His ankles?
No, his cankles.
If you could see this person's ankles, that would be one thing. However, you can't.
And what does that mean?
Do you not remember anything about the Steel Samurai a year
That
ago?
was a whole year ago, come on.
What is a steel samurai?
The costume person in this photo could not have been Mr. On Guard.
What is the meaning of this?
Damn, the music. I wonder if you would care to elaborate with actual facts, that is.
Let's take a look at the Nickel Samurai's poster that Maya so lovingly stole from, borrowed for the use of this trial.
Yes.
Please pay particular attention to the area around the bottom of the hakama. The hakama.
Come on.
Why is he wearing socks but no shoes?
His socks, you can see his socks.
Exactly. However, in this photo, you cannot. The Steel Samurai is the Nickel Samurai is clearly holding his Hakama up just to walk. There is only one explanation for this. The person inside this costume is clearly much shorter than the defendant. Man, if only the Steel Samurai could have gotten to this line of logic sooner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We did learn something
Rabble,
last year,
rabble,
apparently.
rabble.
Yeah. Alright, I think I've turned things around for myself this time.
That's curious.
Huh? What is?
Edgeworth is unusually calm today.
Oh yeah, I
time
don't
is
see
my-
the I don't see the veins in his neck.
What time was my manicure again today? Hmm.
6 o'clock?
That's true.
He's just letting the trial run itself, as if he's only along for the ride.
I mean, he wasn't even supposed to be here. It was supposed to be Francisca.
And yes, I am saying Hakama incorrectly because our canon is Phoenix does not actually know how the Japanese language works whatsoever.
Is somebody questioning your expert pronunciation of things?
Along for the ride? What do you mean by that?
I can only guess that perhaps he doesn't feel under attack at all.
He's complacent.
Huh? I'm zoning out.
He doesn't feel under attack. Then I haven't damaged his case at all.
Mr. Edgeworth, where does this leave us? If the person in this photo is not Matt Engarde, then everything the prosecution has tried to prove has become meaningless.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Rabble. Is it lunchtime yet? Rabble.
I could go for a turkey club. I figured it would come to this.
What?
Right. I have something I want to ask you. I think you have proven that the person inside this costume is not Matt Engard.
But who is
Oh,
it?
great.
That's not my fucking job.
In that case, who is this photo?
Again, it's not my
No.
fucking job.
Tell me, Phoenix.
Who is the person wearing the Nickel Samurai costume?
Don't stress out over this, Phoenix. It's very simple.
Is it?
Well, Andrews.
What you should be focused on is Edgeworth's attitude, don't you think?
Yeah.
Being sassy
Why
today.
is he so calm?
Maybe I just don't care.
Mr. Wright, let's hear your thoughts.
Hold on, let's distort space-time real quick.
Mr. Wright, I'm bleeding from my nose.
Yeah. It's gotta be Wendy Oldbag!
Or Powers. He didn't commit the murder last time, so he had to commit the murder this time.
No, Will Powers is a good boy.
He's a good boy.
I mean,
He's no
they
murderer.
emphasized often that Adrian was very small.
Yeah, they have said it a couple of times. Yeah, she's kind of short.
Yeah.
And we know she was in both rooms.
Mm-hmm.
Adrian Andrews?
If you want to know who that Nickel Samurai is, it is none other than this woman.
And why would you say it must be Miss Andrews? What in the world points you to her?
For starters, she's short.
Oh, way to be discriminatory, Phoenix.
Ha,
And she
she's
can
small.
freely move in and out of Mr. Enguard's room. Finally, she had dinner with Mr. Engard that night. Also, yeah, Will Powers probably could not fit into the Nickel Samurai costume.
Too
He
large.
is a large lad.
He's a big fucker.
And how does that all add up?
It means that it makes it very easy for her to get a certain item. A certain knife with Mr. Engard's fingerprints all over it.
That knife was used as a murder weapon.
Good job, Judge.
Why don't you just say what it is you want, right?
Not guilty. Fuck.
Phoenix, not the time to be horny!
Shit.
What is with this place?
uh,
I leave for a few years and this doesn't change.
have to do this now.
Or are you expecting it to change?
This is my last chance to turn things
I
around.
had some hope.
This is nothing has changed in San Francisco in a year. The defense moves to indict Miss Adrian Andrews in the murder of Juan Corrida. It was Miss Andrews who tried to frame the defendant for the crime.
Rabble,
Rabble.
rabble.
Order! I'll have a Big Mac with cheese. It looks like this trial has hit a most unexpected development.
Doesn't it always, Judge? I'm surprised
Mr.
you're surprised.
Edgeworth,
Yes, Your Honor.
this court is issuing a subpoena for Miss Adrian Andrews. A verdict cannot be passed without first hearing her testimony.
Alright, this is it.
This is kind of bad for us.
Yeah.
What do you mean? Yeah, it is very
You
bad
need
for
to
us.
win the case, Phoenix.
If Adrian Andrews is summoned to the court as a witness, it means that the trial will go on for another day.
Oh, no, Maya.
Day. Ah! If I don't get a verdict today, then Maya...
Now then, we shall set Miss Andrews' testimony for tomorrow.
What am I supposed to do? The judge is about to adjourn the court. Wait and see. Wait and see.
I'm sure it'll be fine.
I'm sure it'll be fine. I'm sure Maya will be fine.
Sure, everything
Raise
will
an
be-
objection.
Now then,
Objection! Please, Your Honor. Continue the trial. You must pass a verdict today.
I can't do that.
Damn it. Well, I tried.
Nice.
We cannot hear Miss Andrews' testimony if she's not.
Oh, here she is.
She's
Here
in
she
the
is.
audience, isn't she?
Oh.
I abhor wasting such valuable time.
The legend is.
Edgeworth?
Does he know Maya's kidnapped?
Probably.
Your Honor, I request that you please continue with today's trial.
Okay.
But
I'll
my
cancel my
lunch appointment. We cannot continue due to this unexpected development.
Tisk tisk. Unexpected development.
Did you expect this?
I think you underestimate me, Your Honor.
What? I don't estimate you at all. And what do you mean by that?
That Mr. Phoenix Wright would slave his way to subpoenaing Miss Adrian Andrews is all happening according to plan. Even if Wright was a bit slow to catch on.
What?
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Why
I
didn't
am
you just come out and
400
say-
parallel universes ahead of you, right?
What is the meaning of your statement, Mr. Edgeworth?
Miss Adrian Andrews is currently waiting in the prosecution's lobby.
What?
Just a hunch. She is the next witness.
Yeah.
And you didn't tell the court?
Everything was planned out in advance by that.
I got off my flight yesterday, Judge. What do you want?
Somehow I knew there would be no way Edgeworth could overlook Miss Andrews. Looks like this battle is far from over.
Exactly.
What? Why did that?
Why you?
Why did that transition from Phoenix to Edgeworth? Why didn't it just like appear on Edgeworth?
Gotta briefly glance at Phoenix's stupefied expression.
Yeah, true.
Very well. We will call the next witness. However, before we proceed, we shall take a 10-minute recess.
Oh,
I'm
boy.
old and I have to tinkle. Please
Oh, fuck
prepare
yeah,
your
recess.
witness in that time, Mr. Edgeworth. The court will now take a 10-minute recess.
Why didn't Edgeworth just come out and say, I don't think this is the culprit, I think it's this other person?
Because then we wouldn't have a whole half of a fucking case to court
Yeah, we
day.
we'd lose a half a day. And where's the dramaticism?
It's the last
He means
case of
to
the
test us.
game. It's justice for all.
Justice for all.
Maybe if you know, if you do good.
Dude, I can't believe that Adrian. No way. Not cool, collected Adrian Andrews.
She is your manager. It would have been very easy for her to pull this off. The only person who had easy access to the knife you used at dinner was well, her.
So after the ceremony? During the break, huh?
Oh.
I was sleeping like a log the entire time.
See, she could have also easily planted that blood-covered button in your hackama.
Sounds
She
like
was the
you're
one that
trying to
came
hack
wake
up a
me up.
lung.
Hackama.
She was the one that came to wake me up. And, dude, you're saying it really was her?
No. I'm saying that it was somebody else entirely. Yes, she is the real killer. She was the one who
The
murdered
killer.
Juan Carita.
But why? I thought she was buds with Juan.
She has her own agenda, and it's gonna get real sad.
Her own agenda? What are you talking about?
It's gonna get real sad. I'm sure you'll see by the time this trial's over.
So will you, Phoenix.
It'll be alright. I'll get you acquitted by the end of today.
Get me a verdict that's refreshing like a spring breeze. Okay, Mr. Lawyer Dude?
Sure.
Phoenix, you think her motive is related to Celeste Impact's missing suicide note, right?
Yes. Miss Andrews depended on Miss Impact as her strength and reason to live. But then Miss Impact suddenly killed herself. It sounds like she left a suicide note and the person thought to have hidden it.
Is Juan Carita the victim of this murder?
And that's why I think that Miss Andrews got close to Mr. Carita. All to get the suicide note back.
That sounds plausible. But one thing bothers me.
What?
Who was it that first told us about their relationship? Better stated, Miss Andrews' dependency issues with regards to Miss Impact's.
It was Edgeworth.
It sounds like he's still the one in command of this ship. Don't let your guard down yet.
I love that 2 hours of in-game time was 15 minutes in court.
Yep.
Rabble.
Court will now reconvene. Now then, Mr. Edgeworth, if you please.
Prosecution calls the witness subpoenaed by this court. Miss Adrian Andrews, the person who discovered the crime in Mr. Juan Carita's room. What is your occupation?
I am the manager and the defendant of this case, Mr. Matt on guard.
I see. Now then.
That is the first, straight answer we've gotten from a witness on the stand in, ever.
Before we begin, Your Honor, I have one request.
Yes, sure. What is it?
I'm sure everyone in this room is wondering the same thing, and would love to find out more about my relationship with the victim. After all, it was the topic of a certain weekly magazine recently.
No, I have no idea what you mean. I've never even heard of
Gossipland.
before.
If the judge was ever a prosecution witness, you'd do all my work for me.
Anyway, I was wondering if you could please tell us about your relation to the victim.
Yes, I was seeing Mr. Carita. I was also aware of the rivalry that existed between Matt and Juan. But it was a private matter between Juan and myself.
So is a fry and bait matter, or was that bait and fry? Reminds me of fishing. I come fast, I got fish to catch.
Can you
But I-
please just...
But I didn't kill him.
No one is accusing you of that,
Except Phoenix Wright.
except that man over there.
I think there's someone who'd beg to differ.
I think we all understand your relationship with the victim now, Miss Andrews.
Very well then, witness, please testify to the court. about what happened when you discovered the murder that had taken place.
It was time for the show to start, so I went to get Matt from his room.
Nick.
After that, I went to Juan's room. And there was his dead body. I was in shock. What I saw was, naturally, the same exact scene as in the crime scene photo. I felt as if it was though I was about to faint, so I poured myself a glass of juice.
But, okay.
You poured yourself a glass of juice?
Yes, sadly, I didn't remember not to touch things at the scene of a crime. And I disturbed the crime scene by moving this one thing.
It's in the wine glass we made, Your Honor. Oh,
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, you may cross-examine the witness.
Phoenix! She is one cool and collected customer, and she has the brains to match.
Yes, sign.
In order to catch a person like her, you have to avoid head-on confrontations. You should disrupt her pacing.
Disrupt her pacing?
She's the type of woman who is easily thrown off by things inconsistent with her thinking. So you have to attack her when she least expects it. The instance you let up on your offense is the instance this trial is over. Understand?
Full-on assault.
You must
Got it.
defeat Samus Aran.
You must defeat intergalactic bounty hunter Samus Aran. Samus Arandrews. Hold it. And what was Mr. On Guard doing at the time?
He was
That was Mia.
He was taking a nap. He was worn out from his many performances as the Nickel Samurai during the ceremony.
Mr. On Guard did say he was taking a nap. Then I guess you could say could not have been taken out of his room, yes?
Excuse me? It? What are you...
years of school would have taught you how to construct a sentence. If you can't make a sensible sentence with a subject, then I'll make one for you. Watch. Did you, Miss Andrews, remove Mr. On Guard's knife from his room?
No.
Subject, verb, object. Right. Did you skip basic grammar? The witness may continue.
Man,
That's why he hasn't read his books.
hold it. Why did you do that?
As a friendly jester, Juan was to make an appearance with the other heroes.
So the show is supposed to be a show of friendship, huh? Press further. When given the option, press further. Is that the only reason?
I beg your pardon, what are you implying?
You had a certain goal in mind when you started to get close to him, correct? So perhaps you had a more personal matter to discuss with the victim.
Sorry, but I didn't have any such intentions in mind at that time.
I can't get her to talk without a strong piece of evidence, I guess. A strong piece of evidence, you say?
May we continue now? Witness, what did you see when you got into his room?
Hold it. Cease. You were in shock.
What? Was I not supposed to be? Well?
Miss Andrews is a very calculating person. And despite how close they were, I doubt she had romantic feelings for Mr. Kurita.
That body would be in shock. And you can't seriously expect that a young beauty like her would not be shocked.
Somehow, I don't think beauty has anything to do with being shocked or not.
That's a damn good turkey club.
I see. I'll have one of these clubs too.
Hold it. is the photo you're referring to, correct?
Yes, the one with the knife lodged into his chest.
And the guitar case was like this too.
Yes, it was open and empty, of course.
And then, what did you do next, witness?
Hold it. Cease. Juice.
Yes, there was a bottle of tomato juice on the table, so I helped myself.
But you didn't drink any of it, did you?
Huh?
There were no lip marks left on this wine glass to suggest anyone drank from it.
I wasn't feeling terribly great, so I set the glass down without drinking it.
Miss Andrews, I would like to confirm with you one more time. When you discovered the dead body of Juan Carita, you were in great shock, and that's when you poured yourself the glass of juice, correct?
And what of it? My mind really was a complete blank at the time.
Your mind was a complete blank. I didn't think that was possible for you.
Aren't you rude today? I was so dazed that I made one careless mistake. That one thing.
What one thing?
Never mind. It's no big deal.
What was she starting to say just now? Press further. Miss Andrews, I'm convinced that, as you said, you made a mistake at the scene of the crime. What I really want to know is what this mistake was.
Actually, so would I.
I'm sorry, it's kind of embarrassing. When I set the glass down on the dresser, I accidentally knocked the flower vase over.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
How could she?
A flower vase? Are you talking about the one on the floor in the crime photo? Smash. This mess of glass shards?
It was originally on top of the dresser. But when I bumped into it with my elbow, it fell onto the guitar case.
But why did you withhold such an important piece of information?
I'm sorry, I thought that since the crime scene was already in disarray, people would simply assume the vase was just another part of the mess.
It looks like yet another fact has come to light here. Please add this and anything else you have to reveal to your testimony.
I'm sorry, but I have nothing more to add. I didn't touch anything else.
Doubtful.
I was the one who knocked the flower vase over where it fell into the guitar case.
Hold it! What kind of flower vase was it?
It was a glass vase, and it was fairly big and heavy. I thought I would just try to take Juan's pulse. So I set the glass, and I was holding down on the dresser. And that's when my elbow accidentally hit the vase.
That's odd. I thought she was always in total control of herself.
That's what you would like people to think. Always be mindful of the gap between your perception and reality.
Doesn't sound like there's any glaring contradictions in her testimony just now.
I warned you earlier that she would not crack so easily. The only way to make her is to...
Keep on the offensive and not let up.
The only way you're going to catch her is with some very strong, decisive evidence.
I have to find something. I just have to. For Maya's sake. Alright, time for it to get dark and sad.
Hold on.
Dark and sad.
Dark and sad, dark and sad.
Went to Juan's room. This is his dead body. Sun was naturally fixed. Okay. Myself a glass of juice. Knock the flower vase over where it fell onto the guitar case. Okay. So, the exact same scene as in the crime scene photo. This is his dead body. It's time for the show to start so we can get Matt from his room.
Would it be the one that got added to the testimony, or?
Possibly, but I'm not sure what to present there.
What got added?
The part about the vase.
The vase.
The vase. Vase.
The guitar case was open. And there's no shards inside the case.
Oh!
Oh,
Yeah.
and wasn't it closed before?
The...
There's some water, but only on the top.
Yeah, there's water on top of the lid, so she dropped it on top of it, but it was open in the photograph.
Yeah.
Where was the crime scene?
Where was the crime scene?
Yeah, there it is. So just check.
Yeah, so there's no shards. It was open.
And there's water on top.
There's water on top of the case.
So it had to be closed when she knocked the flowers over, but not.
Right,
they
because
found
so that's where the water comes in. So like, knock the vase over onto the closed guitar case.
Yeah.
And then opened it for some reason.
Yeah.
So
Either
do
way,
we-
it's a contradiction.
Yeah. So. Objection.
Maybe it was
Mhm.
locked and she smashed the lock off of it.
Yeah.
You testified that you knocked the flower vase over. Is this correct?
Yes.
And are you sure it fell onto the guitar case?
Is there some problem with what I just said?
It's not some problem. It's a major problem. It's true that the top of the guitar case was wet with water. However, that's exactly what is so strange. Miss Andrews, we testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case. However, if that was true, the case should have gotten wet on the inside, not the outside.
Rabble.
Judge.
Mark. Oh, we lost him.
That's very true.
Furthermore, there is one other strange thing about this guitar case.
And what is that?
Let's take another look at the crime scene photo. Get a load of this! The remains of the vase are scattered on the floor.
And what is wrong with that?
If the guitar case was open when the vase fell, the glass shards should be inside, not outside the case.
Hang on, can you hear me okay?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What is your point, right? That the case was closed at the time the vase was knocked over. Is that all?
Objection! No, think back to what Miss Andrews testified to. She said that other than the vase, she didn't touch anything else.
Yeah.
Yes, that's right. She did implicitly say she didn't touch the guitar case.
But this whole matter with the guitar case is a dead end. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. It has no bearing on this case at all.
That may very well be. However, the empty guitar case does seem to have no relation to this case, doesn't it? Oh wait, here's a tinfoil hat theory.
Yeah.
The suicide
It
note
seem-
was hidden inside the guitar.
Oh.
It seems that there is no deeper meaning to the guitar case. Well, Mr. Wright, do you think we need to hear more details about the guitar case?
Make her testify.
Yeah, keep her on the offense.
The empty guitar case. I believe this is a crucial piece of the puzzle.
No, I don't think there's anything wrong with it.
I can't believe anyone would reach for straws like this, but it is you.
I can't believe I'm doing this either.
Alright, I'll follow along for now. Miss Andrews, please testify to the court about the guitar case.
Yes, Your Honor.
The guitar case.
I don't remember too clearly because I was a bit dazed. I suppose I must have opened the guitar case after I knocked the vase over. It's not a big deal though, right? The case was empty after all. As for why I opened the case, even I don't know.
Uh-huh.
It looks like this really wasn't a very important point.
feeling by now that it's almost comforting.
Anyway, I'll just go ahead and start the cross-examination.
Ugh. Using it anyway to change the topic. A convenient escape for a weak man.
No you.
Shit!
Anyway, no you.
God damn it!
Hold it.
I can't come back from this.
During your testimony just now, did you remember those events clearly in your mind?
Well, you see,
Are you sure you are the one who opened the guitar case?
She's waiting for someone to tell her if she should answer or not.
Sounds like your dependent side is taking over.
Well, Miss Andrews,
yes, it was me.
Hold it. So, you opened the guitar case then?
Yes, well, maybe.
Why did you open the guitar case?
Huh?
Mr. Kurita's dead body was right there in front of you, wasn't it? I would think that the first thing you would do is call for help, not open a guitar case.
As the witness has said multiple times, when she found the dead body, she was dazed. I don't know what that means.
Maybe I was curious to know if the bright red guitar was alright or not. I thought maybe the criminal took it.
Why would she care about the bright red guitar?
But getting back on topic,
Hold it. Was it really empty? I was just wondering if maybe when you opened the case, the guitar was still inside.
How long have you been a lawyer, Mr. Wright? Have a little professionalism. The bright red guitar was found at the studio. These trials would be over in half the time if you would just pay attention.
yes, pay more attention, Mr. Wright.
Sorry.
Ironic.
Hold it! Was that because you were shocked and dazed at discovering the victim's body?
yes, that's probably it.
I'm not going to get anywhere if I continue pressing her like this. The only way to make her talk is with Avidonche. I guess I should give it a try.
Come on, Phoenix. We can't afford to let up on her now.
I wasn't planning on letting up, but,
She's at her weakest now, so this is our chance.
yeah, we had a weapon to hit her with.
I'm sorry, what now?
I'm sure a weapon is hiding somewhere in the court record, waiting to be
The
found.
guitar. Just hit her with the guitar.
Underneath the stand.
We're gonna distort space-time again real quick. Alright, so it's gonna be the last one. We're gonna present. And
Now it gets dark.
now it's this one. Yeah, not that. Yeah. Oh, that's not it.
Oh no.
F.
That is very not it.
For failure?
Yeah, for failure. Try to think a little bit more.
Denied.
Try to big brain a little less there, Phoenix. I don't know. The case was empty after all. Suppose I must have opened the guitar case. Right. Go right. What else do we have? Wait. It only bears Kurita's footprints.
Yeah, but we already know she was wearing the gloves from the costume.
Oh, true. Okay. All right.
And defense attorney badge. Did we just hit it on the wrong dialogue option? Was it the
Possible.
empty option?
Mm-hmm.
Case was empty after all. Do you think it's that? I don't know.
I can't think of anything else.
Mm-hmm.
Nope.
No.
Ooh, big brain.
F.
Alright,
Or
we're gonna
failure.
we're gonna
Go back to
we're gonna
No
distort
dying.
space time a little bit real quick.
What even is time?
illusion.
Okay, so what do we have that we can present?
The Macadama?
Macadam. I don't have an idea. So I was on the right train of thought. So like, could not have opened the guitar case because they only found Karita's fingerprints.
Oh.
Yeah.
All right.
That doesn't make any sense.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So it is literally anything but that option.
Yeah.
Oh, is it just to prove that she was in the costume?
Yeah, something like that. Objection. There is no way you were the one who opened the guitar case.
Why would you say that?
It's elementary, my dear. Phoenix, you're such a weenie. Because the only fingerprints on this guitar case are those of the victim.
Ah!
Rabble.
What is it, Miss Andrews?
You shouldn't assume that I must have left prints just because I touched the case.
What do you mean?
What if I were to tell you that I was wearing gloves at the time?
Why would you do that?
Gloves? But why would you be wearing gloves at the time?
It was cold.
It was the night of the award ceremony. So of course I dressed up for the occasion. Yes, now I remember. I'm almost sure I was wearing a pair of thin gloves.
I see. Well, Mr. Wright, it seems the witness was wearing gloves at the scene of the crime.
Nothing strange about that. That's whatever. It's fine. That's strange. You were wearing gloves. Isn't that a little strange?
Why is that strange? Do you have something that would prove I was not wearing gloves at the time?
Her
the wine
fingerprints were on the wine glass.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Why do people do not pay attention to the frickin' things they say 2 minutes before?
I have your proof right here. This wine
That
glass.
would mean we'd lose the case.
The wine glass?
You left your fingerprints very clearly on this wine glass.
Ah!
Even if you took your gloves off when you poured yourself this glass of juice, wouldn't you think it was just a little strange? That you put your gloves back on just to open the guitar case?
Ah!
Oh my.
Did her glasses just shatter and she just got another pair of glasses?
Yeah.
I think so.
Rabble.
Oh, honey, those pants do not go with that top. Order!
Looks like you hit the nail on the head this time.
What do you mean?
I believe that the guitar case plays a very important role here.
But it's just an empty case.
I wonder if it really was empty, though.
But the guitar, the bright red guitar was at the studio.
Phoenix, drop all of your presumptions.
Think stupider.
What was in the guitar case was not the bright red guitar.
You don't mean... It was a bright white guitar!
There you go.
not
That's
right
my
either.
boy.
No, too stupid. Dial it back.
Yeah, that, okay.
Yeah, you could,
Me and Nose
Adrian
were
could
being
just
stupid.
conjure an infinite supply of spare glasses from the ether. This dark witchcraft.
admit it would be unnatural for someone to do that. So the witness was not wearing gloves, despite the fact that on the case...
Your Honor, this is obviously the defense's usual misdirection tactic at work. Steer the court towards an unrelated topic and lull us all into his misguided...
Objection!
Excuse me, I wasn't finished yet.
Your Honor, please recall that Miss Andrews had testified that the vase fell onto the guitar case, which means that the vase was closed, that the case was closed when the crime took place. However, it is wide open in this photo of the crime scene. I'm sure this guitar case has some relation to the murder.
If you are so sure, right, then better believe it or not, you're going to say this, then I'm sure you can somehow substantiate your outrageous claim, correct?
What? How could you possibly say something like this at this time?
Oh,
How could you possibly ask me to substantiate my claim with evidence in a court of law?
Well, can you?
Please, yeah. Well, enlighten us as to why that guitar case has anything at all to do with this murder.
Okay.
What?
Can you do that, Mr. Ray?
Well... Let's suppose for a second that the bright red guitar was not the only thing that could have been in the case.
Guitar not being the only thing?
Judge.
I see.
Man.
Hang on, Judge, too stupid. Pull back. Pull back.
Dial it back a little bit, Judge. Man, they really did just pull that joke twice in like a 2-minute span. That was great.
So you intend to push your theory that the case was not empty. Is that it, right?
I wouldn't say something I didn't intend to prove.
Deflate that head of yours. You haven't proved anything yet.
Bet.
Now then, let's have it. What was inside the case at the time of the murder?
Phoenix, you say things all the time without being able to prove them.
I don't know if it's this, but like...
what's the one next to it again?
That's the attempted from Adrian.
Oh, okay. Gotcha.
It was... Maya Fey.
A whole person.
A whole person.
No. Pearls. Pearls is in the case.
Pearls would fit in there.
Do we think it's
I am
this?
a concealed weapon.
Do we think it's a suicide report?
I mean, I already thought it was before when we were 2 steps behind, but who knows?
Yes. Open the case.
He did find her body, like it says there. He found her body.
The crime. No. What? Hold on. What was in the case? Case was open. What about the costume? What about what happened with the costume? I don't think this is gonna be the answer, but like,
yeah, I just don't know what else other than like the suicide note that should be looking for, or would be hidden that would be relevant.
If it was the costume, how would you present that it was the costume?
Either the Nickel Samurai or the photo, I guess.
But like, if she was wearing it, why would it be in the...
Well, but if she took it off...
And then pretended to find the body.
Then she would want to hide it, so she would hide it in the guitar case.
We're back.
But then they found that the case was empty at the time, so they'd have to take it out at some point, but they didn't find it.
Yeah, because the crime scene photo has it open, so it wouldn't be...
Uh-huh.
This is a photograph.
Yes, but what is important is what is in that picture, Your Honor.
Is it a graph? In this picture?
Look at this graph. It doesn't take a genius to see what I mean. What I am proposing is... Inside the guitar case was the Nickel Samurai, the hero's very own costume.
Oh.
Okay.
His pupils shiver with rage. Look at him.
That is a weird line of
What?
of
What
questioning
did you
for sure.
say?
Detail. Rabble.
Ah, the music. Yes.
Mr. Wright, explain yourself.
No.
Oh.
Alright, get the fuck out. Right. Are you saying that the witness opened the guitar case to take out a costume? Who in the right mind would do such a thing? What insane point would there be to doing something like that?
That insane point would be to wear the costume, of course. Miss Andrews put it on to hide her identity so she could make her escape. After all, you couldn't let anyone see you leave, could you, Miss Andrews?
I refuse to accept your theory. Do you have anything to support such a preposterous idea?
Just outside the door was an investigative photographer who was starving for a big scoop.
I'm
and in
a lot
the
of
end,
heart.
she managed to get this shot, correct?
You mean this photo?
Rabble. Oh, so she wore it out. Okay, I understand now.
Order. Durr. It looks like we've wandered into quite another mess again, haven't we?
Yes.
I wonder if all
Nice
the rest
job,
of his cases are
Phoenix.
like this.
Thanks. Well, you know my strategy. Speak first, think later. Phoenix, maybe,
Damn it, Phoenix.
maybe you shouldn't
So
say
the-
that as loud.
So the real murderer was hiding inside a costume.
Objection. Wait 1 second, Your Honor. The Nickel Samurai's costume would have been Mr. Matt Engard's. Why would something of the defendant's be in the victim's room? They have no relation to each other whatsoever. They've never met. And inside the guitar case of all places?
True, that is a little baffling. Mr. Wright, the court would like to hear your thoughts. What was this Nickel Samurai costume doing inside the guitar case?
It was a spare costume. It was stolen from On Guard.
We don't know if there's any spare costumes, right?
Fair. Because he was wearing it while he was sleeping.
I would imagine it was a spare.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it would probably make more sense if it was a spare.
Mm-hmm.
Mr. On Guard did not take his costume off during the break period. In that case, the costume we are talking about was a spare one.
What?
What?
Spare?
Then are you saying that on the night of the murder, there were 2 Nickel Samurai costumes at the Gatewater Hotel?
Yes, that is what I am saying.
And how do you explain the costume that was inside the guitar case?
It would mean that the victim himself had brought this spare to the ceremony on purpose.
Oh, and it ties to the note with a confession.
But why? The victim, Mr. Kurita, was the Jammin' Ninja. Why would he secretly bring the Nickel Samurai spare costume with him? What could be the reason behind such a peculiar act?
And therein lies the second point.
Objection! What are you mumbling to yourself about now? Have you just been rambling all this time without any sense of inner monologue?
People have that. No, I just,
Mr. Ray, please explain yourself. Why do you think the victim had the Nickel Samurai spare costume?
Phoenix, are you sure you can explain this one? Think carefully before you answer, and then answer with gusto. I believe in you.
Chutzpah. Alright, this is what I think. The reason the victim brought the Nickel Samurai's spare costume to the hotel was...
Is it the fake announcement? Like the confession? Yeah. Because
that I don't get.
Yeah.
Why would that?
Well, because On Guard didn't know anything about the post-ceremony stage show.
Oh,
no,
right.
So the idea then that maybe the Jammin' Ninja stole the spare and then was gonna quote-unquote confess something just to ruin the Nickel Samurai's career.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
What is this?
On the night of the murder, after the stage show, the Nickel Samurai was going to hold a special press conference.
A press conference?
Yes, the Nickel Samurai was supposed to confess something at this conference.
I heard about this as well. For once, you're not making something up, right?
Oh, how the turns are tabling. Oh, how the turnabouts are tabling.
I find you loathsome.
But what struck me as strange was that Mr. On Guard himself said he had no idea he was supposed to be holding a press conference that night.
But how can that be?
The way I see it, that can mean only one thing. The conference was set up by none other than the victim, Mr. Juan Corrida himself.
The victim?
Yes. The spare Nickel Samurai costume was prepared for that very conference. Mr. Corrida was going to hold the press conference as the Nickel Samurai.
He was going to dress up as the Nickel Samurai and hold a conference? But why would the victim do such a thing?
That's something I don't quite know yet, however. What I am concerned with right now is what he intended to reveal at that conference.
The Nickel Samurai was going to confess something. And by confess, I'd wager he was going to reveal something about himself. Hence,
Which
the word
means that Juan
confessed.
Corrida, posing as the Nickel Samurai, was going to speak about Matt on Guard.
Yes, I guess that this is what it would mean.
But if that is the case, that's not a confession. That's a public disclosure.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Miss Andrews?
I can see why you are pros at what you do.
Pardon
Are
me?
we?
I'd say meddling
Yes.
at best.
Just as you say, the press conference was set up by Juan.
Rabble.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Rabble, rabble.
Miss Andrews, please offer us an explanation for this.
No.
I was the one he asked to help set it all up. And the person who prepared the second costume for him, that was also me.
You!
Juan had bet everything on the Jamming Ninja this year. And if he lost the Grand Prix, he was going to make sure Matt was going down with him. That's what he thought, anyway.
No.
He was going to ruin him, huh?
It looked like somehow Juan had his hands a secret so powerful that it would destroy Matt's acting career had it been revealed.
What?
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
And do you know what this secret of Mr. Enguards is, Miss Andrews?
That's something only Juan knew. I don't know what it is.
I see.
I've probably been coming off quite suspicious to everyone. But that's to be expected. I've been trying to protect Matt, after all.
Protect Mr. On Guard.
And yet again, another strange bit of truth comes to light. It seems...
The secret is that Matt is a vegan.
What?
It's not the Nickel Samurai. He's actually platinum.
The
He's
vegan
actually
samurai.
aluminum foil.
He only eats potato mochi.
Mhm.
Oh my god.
Miss Andrews, if you could, please tell us the truth about your behavior.
Yes, Your
Potato
Honor.
mochi is a full
I
balanced meal.
understand.
It's got potatoes and potatoes and
And mochi?
but
and potatoes.
I can't just eat it every single day.
I say that to Pokemon Legends Arceus.
I know.
From the moment I saw the crime scene, I had a feeling that Matt was the murderer. Matt had to kill Juan, no matter what. And he didn't have an alibi for what he was doing at the time of the murder. My thoughts were confirmed by the evidence, of course. The button and the knife. But I'm Matt's manager, so I felt that I had to protect him.
Is she throwing... Alright, what if she did the murder and she's now throwing Matt under the bus?
Yeah.
Maybe, possibly.
Because why would she just
I think
straight
so.
up out of nowhere being like, yep, I'm protecting my client who totally murdered
Yeah.
this guy?
Hmm.
I mean, yeah.
Well,
It
I am
looks
the
like-
logical type.
We're finally seeing her true self. She's more nervous than a scared rabbit.
In the defense, if the defense can find no fault with this testimony, I am ready to make a ruling. Please don't object.
What?
Please keep that in mind as you cross-examine Mr. Wright.
Okay, alright, okay, alright, okay. Looks like somehow everything has swung to the opposite end of the scale again. That just means I have to put my weight into this and turn her logic upside down. Okay. Alright. Alright, okay. We're getting there. I have a feeling that Matt was the murderer. This is, like, yeah, this is literally, like, the first time that she has, like, said anything about Matt in this whole
Pretty big
testimony.
180.
Honestly, it was starting to seem like he was a background character.
Would you say that was your intuition speaking to you?
Don't confuse my methods of reasoning with your own.
Got him.
If you want to prove that someone did something, you need 3 things.
3 things.
A motive, an opportunity to commit a crime, and finally, decisive evidence.
Sorry, what was that first one?
And if you think these 3 things through, the answer becomes quite clear.
You should already have known that, Phoenix.
No,
Hey,
she's
Okay.
a
didn't
better
teach
lawyer.
that to us in school, at least not from what I remember.
He
Phoenix.
fell asleep.
May I continue now?
Such a weenie.
Excuse me. Wait, what was that? What was that first word you said? It started with an M. I didn't quite get the rest of it.
Monster Energy.
Motive.
I'm sorry. I keep hearing it, but it sounds like gibberish.
So, would you say this need came from the press conference?
Yes. Do you know why Juan chose that event in the hotel for the conference? Because that was when he could cause the most damage to the public's beloved Matt on Guard.
And you knew of this plan, didn't you, Miss Andrews?
Yes, because I was the one who set up the conference and prepared the costume.
But I'm sure Mr. On Guard himself didn't know anything about the press conference.
Oh, really? Can you show me any proof that he didn't know about the press conference?
Anyway, the important thing here is that this information was not in your testimony.
Yes, I agree, Miss Andrews. Please correct your testimony, if you please.
Grasping at straws now, are we, Mr. Wright? I know what his motive was, but I don't have any way to prove I'm right.
Hold it. Has Mr. On Guard done something to hurt or betray you personally?
Why do you ask?
You were the one who helped Mr. Dorito with his press conference. And that event was supposed to bring down Mr. On Guard, yet you still helped out.
The person on trial right now is Mr. On Guard, right? What the witness was thinking, helping the victim with his plan, is none of our concern. In any case, this means that the defendant had a motive to kill.
Why do I keep doing this to myself?
Because you're boo-boo doo-doo face.
Man, hold it. But didn't you already testify earlier that Mr. On Guard was taking a nap in his room? Are you telling me now that that too was a lie so you could cover for Mr. On Guard?
I'm not telling you anything of the sort. When I went to get him for the show, he honestly was sleeping. However, as to whether he was sleeping the entire time, that I cannot say. I was too busy setting up the stage at the time.
I keep trying, but I can find no flaws with what Miss Andrews has said. Because I'm an idiot. And my brain is as empty as my head. I can't say the same for some people here in this courtroom, however. Edgeworth seems smart.
The judge is glaring straight at me.
He's glaring at you, smart guy.
Knife. You can hardly call the knife decisive evidence. The fingerprints on the knife could very well be a clever camouflage.
Then what about the button?
The button? What button?
It's clear from the crime scene that the victim and his murderer fought. And during the fight, the killer ripped the button from the jamming ninja's costume.
Why would you rip the button from the costume?
You're talking about this button, correct?
That button was found in the pleats of Matt's Hakama. Is that correct? I would think that that makes it very decisive evidence.
Looks like you were outfoxed again, Mr. Wright. Ho ho ho.
Anyway, the knife doesn't prove a thing. Man, they really set us up for like, using anyway to change the topic, and then he just rolls with it for like the next like couple of minutes. Please fix your testimony.
Weak.
I can't stand the sight of a man who can't gracefully accept his defeat.
Thank goodness Mia can still look at me.
With an icy stare, yes.
Miss Andrews, for Mr. Wright's sake, please add this information to your testimony.
How many times are we gonna let her revise it, please, for the love of God?
Button was torn off of Juan during his fight with Matt? Wait, what was... Strangled with a scarf that stabbed with a knife. So that... How was the button must have been torn off after the stabbing, right? Like, it couldn't have been during the fight.
Yeah.
It couldn't have been during the fight. Like, because he was strangled. It wasn't like, you didn't, like, cut off the button or anything. Objection!
Oh, the music stopped.
This is the victim's autopsy report. It clearly states that the cause of death was strangulation by a scarf.
Scarf.
Strangulation?
The knife stab to the victim was done after the victim had already died.
And what does that mean?
Oh, there's no blood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's examine the evidence, the evidence. This button has the victim's blood on it, which would mean that it was ripped off the costume when?
After the knife was stabbed into the victim.
Exactly. Which means... it's impossible that this button was torn off during the victim's final struggle. Because the victim was strangled to death in that fight. That's right, Miss Andrews. There is no way this button was ripped off during the struggle. This button was consciously pulled off the victim's already dead body.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Order. What is the meaning? Oh no.
What is the meaning of this, right? So what if the button was torn off the body after the victim had already died? Who cares? What does that change?
Who cares? Let me ask you one simple question, Mr. Edgeworth. Why was the button torn off? What purpose did that serve?
What purpose?
We now know this button was not torn off during the fight, so the murderer took the time and effort to purposely rip this from the victim's body. That would mean that the murderer had something in mind, wouldn't it?
Mr. Wright, does this mean you know what the murderer wanted to do with the button? What was it?
To pin the crime on guard.
With the button.
There is only one logical reason for doing something like that. It was to pin the crime on Mr. On Guard. There is no way anyone would put a bloodied button in their own pants. That's right. Mr. On Guard was set up. By the real killer, of course.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
And the real murderer is... Well, Mr. Wright, who in the world is the real killer then?
Finally. I'm gonna save Scum. I can't believe I managed to bring this trial all the way up to this point.
Phoenix, you can't let your guard down yet. Not until the very end.
The real killer, the person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard,
is my attorney's badge.
Is Dick Gumshoe.
Richard Gumst.
'Twas me.
Juan Corrida, the dead one.
Juan Gordita Crunch.
The person who planned to frame Mr. On Guard, it's gotta be Adrian, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I'm in
She's the
favor
only
of
one
I'm in
Mhm.
favor
who
of that.
had motive.
Yeah.
Alright.
And she said she gave us a lawyer lesson. You gotta have motive.
Mm-hmm.
Miss Adrian Andrews. I choose you. You are
What?
Mr. Kurita's killer.
This
You're
is
a
not
Pokemon.
What?
My glasses.
Chatter like that.
Ah, the glass in my eye.
Order, 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 I say, Mr. Wright. This is a very grave matter. Do you have any evidence that supports your charge?
Any evidence? All of the evidence points to Miss Andrews.
What? How preposterous. You can't stick any of that on me.
Watch me.
I can't, can I? Would you care to test me?
Yes.
Then what about this knife?
The knife was used to stab the victim after he had already been strangled to death. It was used to throw suspicion onto Mr. On Guard naturally. A knife covered in the defendant's fingerprints could only be taken from his room. And the only one who had dinner with him and knew which knife to take was you.
Just... Then... What about the button that was found in Matt's Hakama?
This button was removed from the victim's body after he had already died. The only people who could have done so were the person who found his body or the killer. However, if Mr. On Guard was the real killer, there was no way he would have put such incriminating evidence in his own Hakama.
Hold on, another pair. This is the best
That's
I've ever seen.
The only person
Ah!
who could
Anyway.
have put this button into Mr. On Guard's Hakama is the person who went to wake him up from his nap, which is you yet again, Miss Andrews.
I see. What about the empty guitar case?
That is also another piece of evidence that incriminates Miss Andrews. That costume was used to hide the real killer's identity as they fled the crime scene. Now, who could have known that there was just such a costume inside the guitar case? It could only have been the person who prepared the costume for the victim. And that person is you, Miss Adrian Andrews.
No, I...
But Miss Andrews' fingerprints were nowhere to be found on the guitar case. And it was you who proved that she was not wearing gloves at the time.
That's right.
That's because she did not intend on leaving any prints. If anyone had found out that she had touched the case, they would have asked her why. So to avoid leaving any prints, she used a towel or something to open it. But
Or
the
something.
glass of tomato juice is a different story. Miss Andrews purposely left her fingerprints on the glass to show that, yes, indeed, she was the classic dazed discoverer of a dead body. And to top it all off, there is this photo. A photo of the killer as they exited the scene of the crime. No reasonable person on Earth can believe this nickel samurai is Mr. On Guard. He would be much too short for his own costume if it was him. Speaking of how tall people are, Miss Andrews, you're also kind of short in stature, are you not?
Please, stop.
Well, how about it, Miss Andrews? I've got her this time.
Miss Andrews?
I refuse to testify.
What?
What was that?
There's a law. It says I can't be forced to testify about something if it can incriminate me. Rabble.
Oh, well, yes.
Yeah.
You're absolutely correct, Miss Andrews.
The law does provide us with a way to avoid self-incrimination. By allowing a witness to not testify, that the testimony can cause damage to themselves.
What?
Yeah, I'm actually amazed they thought about this, pleading the
Pleading the
fifth.
fifth is not something most people would think to do on the spot. Actually, thinking back to yesterday in Mr. On Guard's room,
Adrian Andrews,
Yes?
think hard about what we just discussed. Understood.
Alright.
that's it. That's when Francisca planted this idea into her head. She must have told Miss Andrews to not testify if things look bad.
You did a good job proving everything up to this point, Phoenix. But there is still one thing you haven't done.
Something I haven't done.
Sorry. What's wrong, right? Are you finished already? Run out of evidence?
Is so humorous, Mr. Edgeworth. Tell me, I want to laugh too.
I'm sure you realize this as well, Your Honor. But everything the good lawyer here has proven up to this point is meaningless.
What?
Everything you have proven is circumstantial.
Circumstantial?
It's a new word for you, I'm sure. You have yet to provide a single piece of definitive proof. Proof that Miss Andrews did in fact harbor a wish to murder Mr. Corrida.
Rabble.
Miss Andrews, did you want to kill Mr. Corrida?
I believe this may lead me to incriminating myself, so I'll abstain from answering.
But Miss Andrews, if you do that, it would be the same as admitting your guilt, don't you think? No, Judge, that's not how that works.
You literally did.
Maybe so, or maybe not. There's nothing to prove it either way. Besides, you don't even know what crime I would be guilty of due to my silence.
What?
No. She's
Murder.
taking that defiant attitude again. She's using the Fifth Amendment to ruin my case.
Believe it or
Taking
not.
advantage of the Fifth Amendment.
What did you do?
Somehow we've landed into the worst possible situation.
I think we have reached a certain conclusion at this point in time. Miss Adrian Andrews has refused to testify, and the defense's theory that she is the actual murderer has not been fully substantiated with solid, definitive proof.
But that's not true.
Am I the judge or you, boy? In this situation, there is only one thing this court can do, and that is to declare a recess.
Recess?
School's out. I request that both the prosecution and the defense look further into this matter. And at tomorrow's trial...
Tomorrow? We don't have it tomorrow. If we don't get a not guilty verdict today, then... Hold it! Please, wait, Your Honor. That's not necessary. The trial. Please continue the trial.
What are you sweating for? Your client is getting one more day to live, isn't he?
That's not it. This isn't about that. Edgeworth, I know you know who the real killer is. Please.
Oh, just here.
Let the trial continue. If I don't get the verdict, then Maya...
What?
But it's impossible to continue as long as the witness refuses to testify. Now then, this court is...
Time for good guy Edgeworth. It is not impossible for this trial to continue.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you...
It's true Miss Andrews holds the right against self-incrimination. However, if the topic of conversation were something unrelated to whatever she may be guilty of, then she has no right to withhold testimony.
Yes, that is very true.
Actually, there is one little thing that I'm curious about. Miss Andrews. When you found the victim's dead body, you poured yourself a glass of juice.
Yes, and?
I can't help but think how unnatural that is. I know Phoenix probably said this before, but he's stupid, it doesn't count. Usually when one finds a body, they are shaken up, not stirring a glass of juice.
So my actions were unusual, but I've already...
Before you speak, I want to state that if you have a reason behind your actions, I would like you to testify to that effect.
Testify?
Your Honor, I would like to request the witness testify again as to what happened when she first discovered the victim's body. Whatever we find out in this testimony should in no way implicate the witness.
Rabble, rabble, rabble.
Rabble.
I don't know what it is about Edgeworth today, but I can't get a good read off of him. Is he friend or foe? I just don't know.
Boyfriend.
Boyfriend.
The
Both.
court acknowledges the prosecution's request. Miss Andrews, if you please.
Oh boy, one more. Let's do it. Never mind. There's actually two more. Good lord.
Oh no.
There's two more testimonies according to the
Oh my
guy.
lord.
Jeez, really?
Yep.
How often
Should we? At one point, do we?
This is a long day.
Is there a tomorrow or?
That I will not
There
say.
is.
No, there is.
I mean, I had to assume as much if Francisco got shot. Like, that seems like something that,
I
you
can
know,
Yeah.
you had to address.
Spoiler alert: Phoenix Wright almost never doesn't make use of the full 3 days.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
that's what I
God.
thought, even if it's not a trial, but.
So, we're leaving it on a bit of a cliffhanger here, and kind of in the middle of the testimony. But we have been going for 3 hours at this point.
Yeah. I think we're not going to avoid this situation.
No, we've been going for a while, and we had no idea this was going to go this long. So we're going to save right here, and we're going to pick this up next week. Even if it's like 20 minutes, it has been going for
Yeah, it'll be fine.
for a while.
Yeah, well,
Just be a little unorthodox breaking up.
You'll never know how that juice poured itself. At least until next week.
At least until next week. Find out about the juice, because that's really what everybody's curious about, right?
Juice is loose.
Alrighty. Well,
Why tomato juice?
why tomato juice?
I mean, it's heart healthy.
Should have had a V8.
Yeah, I guess. Not a sponsor.
Yeah.
Not yet.
So I
V8,
drink
please.
V8 all the time, and I've still never had the tomato juice.
Alrighty, well, I think that's all we've got this evening. But thank you to everybody who hung out, and we will see you all next week.
Yippee-ki-yay.
Unless
Hell yeah.
something happens to us.